was the fucking the part where what is this?
I can't.
Ratatonkin. Ratatonkin.
I cannot pronounce his. No, there is something very cool though, and we talked about this.
Yes,
we talked about this
cool.
on.
Wait. Say his name again.
Ratatonkin.
This is borderline offensive.
I can't pronounce it.
How
is it pronounced? Diamond Jab.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
It's pronounced Rahul. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Now you got me.
Don't ask no one to
It's
me.
Ratatonkin.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Emergent Gamer Podcast, brought to you by the OG Podcast Network. This is episode 182, and we have a very special guest with us tonight. First of all, I'm Trip Zero.
Felix Hergood.
And Neo Yoshi.
Yeah, we got the squad here. Lock and Key does not have a presence tonight. He has some obligations, has the night off. But in his place, we have the wonderful, the amazing...
Diamond Jab.
Diamond Jab.
What up,
Welcome
Diamond?
back to the show, Diamond Jab. Glad to have you here, bud.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
It's been a hot minute.
Did we ever ask you
the hottest minute?
Yeah.
Did we ever ask you the origin of how you came up with that name?
No, you haven't. It's actually a wonderful story.
Tell us about that.
Let's see if I can condense it. So when I first met my wife, I am one of the I'm one of the type of people who, like, I see someone and I'm like immediately attracted to them, like immediate.
Mm-hmm.
And so my wife and I were in the same class in college one year. We talked a little bit, but that was it. And then a year passed, and she changed her Facebook profile picture on Facebook, and I didn't recognize her. I didn't know who she was, and I was like, "Oh my god, this person's gorgeous." So my wife was involved in a multi-level marketing scheme.
Nice.
And,
okay.
She had sent me a message a year before, the classic, are you interested in making some extra money?
Yeah.
I had said no at the time, but I didn't know who she was. This time around, super gorgeous. And I went, you know what? I think I'm going to blow this up from the inside out, whatever she's got going on. So I said, hey, I'm interested in learning about this business. Joined her team in her business scheme.
Just to meet her.
Just to see her. Blew up her team from the inside out. Got her out of the scheme.
Whoa.
We were dating by that point. Like, it was
I was gonna say, did she know that you had this intention? Or was this all?
Not
exposed
until
at this
like
point?
I told her last year.
Last
year, I was like, hey,
this is an elaborate ruse.
This is an elaborate ruse.
Look, I was a mole.
But the origin of the name is, in this marketing scheme, the highest level you could go is diamond. And originally, when we were dating, when we were talking about marriage, my plan was to take her name. And her last name was Burris at the time, so Joe and Amy Burris. And it worked out really well. I made my name Diamond Jab to work on the channel, and then I just kept it for what it was. Eventually, she took my name, so it doesn't quite work out the same way.
Right.
So I just left it. So, but that was it. That's the story.
That's pretty funny, man. I like the inception right there.
Had some, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to know.
MLM deception
There you
inception.
The TLDR, I'm a fucked up human being. That's pretty much. That's pretty much what.
For the
Look,
better.
it worked out though.
For the
man.
better, yes, yes, definitely for the better.
I'm a fucked up human being for the better.
But yeah, so that's the
Isn't
origin.
that
of my name.
all of us though?
Yes,
Deep down inside.
absolutely,
We try.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You'd like to think there's always a goal to the fucked upness.
I like.
You'd like to think.
I like to think that.
You'd like to think
but
that.
That's not always true.
Yeah, not always. But I'm glad you're here, man. It's gonna be a good show.
Cool. Thanks.
We're gonna hit some catch-up news like we always do. A little personal anecdotes, see what's going on in our lives, and then we're gonna hit the news. Felix, what's up with you? What's going on?
All right.
Why the?
Okay.
Why the?
Let me stretch for this.
So I'm
the deep breath.
I'm back playing
All right.
Far Cry fucking 5.
Really?
That's a name.
Why
I
you
wasn't
sound so
expecting.
sad about it?
Really, you are?
Well, because I'm a completionist now. I've become this.
All right.
Or always
He's
have
reborn.
Yeah, you throw the word now in there
Yeah.
like it's a new thing. Guess what? As of this week, I've become a completionist.
But I'm also now insanely obsessed with trophy hunting.
Sure.
Okay.
in all the games that I'm currently rotating. So the rotations are taking a while, especially when a company like doesn't reveal that they have like a massive amount of fucking trophies for this like third DLC that's coming out.
Okay.
So Dead Living Zombies comes out. And I'm like, oh, well, I guess I got to bring Far Cry 5 back into the rotation. Now, I played through and completed all the trophies on the Vietnam War one, and then the one subsequent to that, which was the
Like the
Lost
Mars
in
one.
Space one. Yeah.
They seem cool.
Well, their trophies were manageable. Like, you just had to collect a bunch of stuff, kill some stuff. Right. I did that. This third fucking one is an unbelievable fucking nightmare because you have to do these things called score attacks.
I just love the hyperbole.
You gotta do it on gold.
Okay.
Is this like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater score attacks?
Well,
Is that what that-
let me just explain the premise
Okay,
of the DLC.
You gotta collect. What would be like a
So
good
as all what
version
were we
of
going to say?
skate? No, I'm
Far
just trying to
Cry.
think of letters to
Far
pick up.
Cry.
Far Cry, yeah.
Well, if you guys haven't played a Far Cry game,
F-A-R-C-R-Y.
hold on. If you haven't played a Far Cry game,
Yeah.
a Far Cry is huge on reflexivity, like reflecting back on genres. Like they are incredibly reflexive to genres in general. So what's hilarious is reading the criticisms of any of their DLC content because people are like, "Man, that's a terrible zombie thing" or whatever. They make these stories to be critical of, like, to be the ultimate cliche of a zombie thing. Right? So the fact that it's cliche and someone's writing a review saying this is too cliche means they don't fucking get it. Right? So
It's like satire on the genre.
right.
Yeah.
It's satire upon it's not as bad
It's not
as
even
Saints
satire. It's in all like it reminds me of what was it? Far Cry Blood Dragon was the extreme of the 1980s hero movie.
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
whatever the base is to the extreme.
So the premise of this is you come in, there's just 7 movie posters for 7 cliche zombie stories that we've seen throughout the years. There's like a zombie love story in there. There's like a zombie race to stop the disease from spreading in a laboratory. There's one that's similar to like Dawn of the Dead. Like there's a bunch of different, and they're very short. You know, when you actually play through and not on hard, not on this difficult score attack mode, like they're funny. You know, like the guys are talking back and forth. Like the one guy's talking to the other guy, talking to your guy. Like you always have you're like a guy who doesn't really speak or kind of speaks, and then he interacts with somebody who leads the story, like the point man on the story. And that banter back and forth was super entertaining. It was fun. I did the 7 parts in like probably 2.5, 3 hours. I was done. Right. But I'm going for all these trophies. So now I'm looking over the trophies. I'm going, oh, I could probably get that. And then it says you got to get all 7 in gold, which I didn't realize is a fucking nightmare upon nightmares.
I was waiting for the.
It's
the good
not
stuff. Here it
fucking
is.
easy
Here it
in
is.
any shape of form. Like,
Got to earn those trophies.
Yeah.
it's real hard to kill these zombies in fucking the amount of time you got to do it in. And
Are there
and
bronze, silver, and gold levels?
There's bronze, silver, and gold,
Okay.
but nothing matters for this trophy other than gold. So there's no point in even caring about bronze or silver.
I would argue against that, but keep going.
Well,
Not
I'm
for
not
the trophy,
competing against anyone else. I'm
No, but if
competing-
you want to do the gold level, you could learn by doing bronze and silver, and then know what the changes are and
maybe.
do it a little bit more efficiently.
I came so close on so many of them. What it boils down to is I think I need to bring in a friend. I can only do it with
You have
another
chosen
person.
phone a friend.
And Cryptic Vantage actually bought the DLC for Far Cry as well. He actually started watching my stream because of Far Cry.
Oh, nice. Cool.
That and Assassin's Creed Origins were 2 of the reasons why he started coming in.
Noise.
So like he already said, he's like, next time you bring Far Cry 5 around and we can play it, and I'll help you do it. So I want to see if it gets easier. I heard that it gets harder when you add an extra person in.
I believe it.
They tell you that in one of those like load screens,
Yeah.
where they're like giving you
Yeah,
facts.
they would up the number of ads or the difficulty or something because they know you've got a whole extra person in there
Right.
to do it with you.
So I think it's going to be like super difficult. On top of that, in addition to adding all these trophies that you got to get for this DLC, They went and dropped in New Game Plus and said you got to get a fucking trophy on the hardest difficulty in New Game Plus.
This is like right up your alley,
Man,
though.
I know. This is
I'm
what
like,
you live
what
for,
in the
dude.
fuck? So I got to play the entire game over again
Yeah.
on some super raging hard difficulty, whatever the fuck that is.
On the ragingest, hardest difficulty.
Meaning I'm going to be the one losing my shit and
Yeah.
getting fucking evicted from wherever I live. It's going to be great.
At least you know what you're in for, man.
Yeah.
That's the best we can hope for. Just the self-actualization of your video game
I'm also
experiences.
I'm seconds away from finishing. I literally am like 2-story missions or 3-story missions away from completing Assassin's Creed Origins in entirety.
Oh my
Every single trophy. I even
Jesus
sat through
Christ.
the museum.
It's only been a year.
No, dude. I even sat through the museum walkthrough tours.
Does that get you a trophy?
I had to sit here for 6 hours.
Did you broadcast that?
No, because I sat
Oh,
here.
man.
I
Can
sat
you imagine
here.
him just?
Sitting there listening to the narrator.
That was interesting.
I sat here. Oh God,
I did not know that.
Think about this for a moment.
Go
Who else
ahead.
could be a completionist of any game from any company, and he chose Ubisoft open world games. It's arguably
The
the
ultimate.
worst you could choose.
Yeah, I'm
is what
fucking
you chose
dumb.
to be a completionist.
I'm real dumb.
Yeah, Spider-Man did it right, man.
That's
it
what
was
I'm saying.
it was
It was a
tight.
great
it was
platinum,
it was,
wasn't it?
That
You know?
was a
Yeah.
picnic in the park.
Breezy
is what
platinum,
It was.
and so was
Breezy.
Some might say a
Horizon.
swing through the city. You know?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Horizon was a really breezy platinum. God of War, you could even say, was a
God of War was
breezy.
really-
It was a breezy
The,
platinum.
the kind of platinums that I appreciate are the ones you can do either on your first or second playthrough.
Breezy
and,
platinum.
and no missable trophies. Like nothing like if you missed a specific event.
Yeah.
Those are no bueno. And
I hate
multiplayer
that
trophies.
shit, dude.
Right.
Persona is notorious for
Persona-
that shit,
well,
for missing a trophy.
Persona obsesses over making you play their game over and over and over again.
yeah,
Which
so
sometimes
does-
is
so
Their
does
okay,
Uncharted.
500
because you end up
hour
doing it regardless.
500 hour
Yeah.
one playthrough. Oh, do it again. You're on play 1 of 10 if you want to get everything.
Sorry, no, it's not.
I got kind of addicted also to doing the trophies for Uncharted. So I'm about ready. I'm
Yeah.
like two trophies
Is-
away from
is,
getting Uncharted Lost Legacies trophies.
Is that a breezy platty or no?
It's not. It's some of them were really super complex. Like one of them is you drive in to the section. There's this one place you can do it. You drive in, run a dude over, kill him, jump out,
As you do.
punch a dude, fire a shotgun, a pistol into a dude, fire a long gun, a rifle into another dude, and then throw a grenade and kill one more dude. Yeah, in
that
that
order.
order.
Is this the specific choreograph that you have to do and learn to?
I have
in
to
order
imagine
do this.
it's like
This is
kill,
not- this is
kill 5 enemies in 5 different ways in a certain amount of time.
This is not something you practice choreo. This is not a choreography of any particular level other than this one very specific opening part of this one level.
and you have to do it in this way.
If
to
you
get a
do it
trophy.
in this way, you'll get the trophy. If you don't do it, there's no other place in the game to get the trophy. And I went and fucking did it because I
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
I watched somebody do it. And I was like, oh, that's how you do it. Oh, you got to do it in 20 seconds. Sorry, I forgot
that's
to tell you
that's
that.
100%
Oh,
what it is.
there's
yeah.
your caveat.
Yeah.
there it is.
So it took me probably about 16 tries to get that, but I got it.
Proud of you, man. I'm
Yeah.
really proud.
Right. I think I did that one. I don't know if I did that on stream. I might have did it off stream. Whatever. Point is very close on all of them. And, specifically with Assassin's Creed, I wanted that to be complete before the 5th. October 5th is when Assassin's Creed Odyssey comes out.
It's very close, man.
So I wanted to rotate right into that motherfucker.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
still have not finished Unity.
I know.
I feel like I'm close to the end.
But
I
you're not going to.
I
You've
will
got other
one
games,
day. One
man.
day.
No, you won't.
No, don't
You're
you
busy.
dare.
You're
Don't do
busy.
it.
I will do it.
No, you won't.
I do love this series.
I mean, he's
but I
now
haven't
full time.
Played
though.
it since.
He's full time gaming now.
I
so-
could fit that in somewhere.
Well, you just got to block it. You got to
Nope.
come up with a schedule that blocks it in.
Yeah, but I can't. I can't promise that right now.
Talking to a
That's the-
lover of Assassin's Creed, and I threw that shit over the side of the ship like it was
I just think
dead.
I just think there are better things you could do with your gaming time.
Oh, there 100% are.
Yeah.
I do like that
like
series.
finish Metal Gear.
I do have to finish
Yeah,
Metal
you have
Gear.
more of a passion. You have
Nope.
more of a passion for
Not
Metal
doing
Gear.
that either.
Yeah. You guys know me.
Because we
got to
do our Metal Gear cast.
We do.
Yeah.
Damn it, we do.
God.
I know.
I do enjoy the Assassin's Creed games. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You don't have to.
I can
believe
get
you.
I can get into an Assassin's Creed game, man.
The only reason I was going to get Odyssey is so I could play Assassin's Creed 3 again.
Yeah, that's
Like,
an
that's
interesting.
The,
You know,
that's the only
Did
reason.
that come with it?
I didn't
It
get. Yeah,
they
it's the
redid
season
Assassin's
pass.
Creed 3.
What?
I heard that, but
And
I
it's
didn't.
it's a
in the
full
it's
HD
in the
remake.
season
It's in the
pass
season
for
pass.
the new game.
Oh, I didn't get that.
Shit.
But like, out of all the games to do that to, 3 though, because that was like a not well
they already
received.
did
They've
all
already
the
done
other
the other
ones.
ones. It's
They've already
next
done
in
all the
line.
Oh, makes sense then.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Assassin's Creed 3 was the only one.
I
that,
want a 4 remake on PC.
Oh.
That would be so crispy.
Did it come out on PC?
It might. I think it is out on PC.
Dude, that was
I think
like
they're
that
all
was a
out on
I
launch.
mean,
PC.
That was a launch game
Assassin's
from
Creed
PS4.
4. Yeah. Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed 4 was a launch game for Xbox
Are you
One.
getting
so
HD,
technically
HD, HD remaster?
I know, but like just more.
Assassin's Creed 3 was the last one.
More of it.
But
Again,
like, I can't.
More of it.
Assassin's Creed 3 was the last game
Let
in
me
that
pay for it
series
again.
that when you turned it on, it didn't feel like homework. It
Yeah.
didn't feel like there was 60 things to do, and you were just like, I'm not interested in doing any of these things. I'm just gonna go kill George Washington in this DLC,
Hell
and
yeah.
that's it.
yeah, true.
You know what really put me off in that fucking story?
What?
All of it.
The one part that fucking chafed my fucking balls
All right.
I was waiting for the anatomy
Was
part
the-
that's gonna come in here.
was the
Chafed
fucking
your.
was the fucking
Anything.
the part where what is this?
I can't. I
Connor.
Ratatonkin.
Yeah.
Ratatonkin.
cannot pronounce his. No, there is something very cool though, and we talked about this.
Yes,
We talked about
is
this
cool.
on.
Wait. Say his name again.
Ratatonkin.
This is border,
gosh.
this is borderline offensive.
I can't pronounce
It's
it.
pro-
How's it pronounced? Diamond
I
Jab.
don't know how to
It's-
pronounce it.
it's pronounced Rahul. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Now you got me.
Don't look
It's
at me.
Ratatonkin.
Raton Hageton is how it's pronounced.
Yeah,
Ratatonkin.
Ratatonkin is the American
Oh
version.
my
When he came into Ellis Island, they had to change it.
Oh my god, dude.
Raton Hageton is how it's pronounced.
Yeah, it's good.
The Indian language in that game was actually approached from a very respectable,
yeah,
respectful
yeah.
cultural point of view, and so much so that his name, in their culture, I believe it's Sue, if I'm remembering correctly. In their culture, everyone has a unique name. No
Yes.
one in the world, in their world, has the same name.
Which I thought was hilarious because then, based on the story, his mentor called him Connor for his dead son. That's how he got the name in the game.
Right.
So Connor, which is why they
Yeah.
were calling him Connor through the whole game.
Yeah.
Or
But
at least
his-
the Americans were
His,
calling him
his
Connor.
Native American
But his
name
Native American
was created based on
specifically for that.
conferring with elders and people from that tribe, and they gave him all the.
He
correct-
can't be Sioux because that's in the middle of the country. He was supposed to be from like upstate New York. That's what I thought.
Okay.
You could be right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember specifically what
We're going to leave this alone. now.
culture it is.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But unlike myself, who can't remember the actual tribe, Ubisoft did approach that very, very respectfully, which I thought was pretty cool.
yeah.
I just like that. I like the
Ratatonkin.
the historical, the
Ratatonkin.
dedication to the history is all I'm saying. I like it.
Oh,
I like it.
man.
I'd play it again.
I needed that tonight.
I'm shitty.
It's all right. Diamond Jab, what have you been up to?
So we've been playing Destiny. That's obvious.
we've been playing a lot of Destiny.
Oh, it's coming. We're
Yeah.
gonna talk about it.
Oh,
Played Spider-Man as well. That's obvious.
You
I
platinum? Platinum?
No.
No, it's just
I
fine.
do not platinum games.
Oh,
I
you
beat
don't.
them and then I abandoned them. Like I'm never
Like
gonna play them
like
again.
children.
Cold fish.
Just beat them and
Get rid of
abandon
that
them.
shit. No. So what I'll highlight is I have really been enjoying my Switch library, which has been nice.
Good for you.
I-
I'm a
What do you
huge
got in
supporter
there?
of that there Switch.
So my Switch library is still really good. The last game I bought before the 2 games I got recently was Super Mario Aces Tennis. And I enjoyed it for what it was, but then I quickly realized that Mario Tennis Aces is a fighting game. Like
Yep.
it's not a
it's like rock
I don't know
paper
what
scissors
I was
fighting
expecting
game. Yeah.
out of it. I guess I was expecting something a little more, but it positions itself like a fighting game. So, I can play it for a little bit, but I can't really play it for too long. And then I was like, okay, that's it. I guess because I'm a classic fan of Super Mario Strikers.
Yep.
Which was a really accessible soccer version of their game. So I guess I was hoping for more of that. But either instance. So funny enough, I went and got L.A. Noire on the Switch.
Interesting.
And if you guys remember L.A. Noire, the game from Rockstar and Team Bondi.
I beat it.
Played it.
The only thing I'm going to highlight about my experience with that is actually I turn it on for the first time. So for those of you who don't know, Team Bondi.
And the frame rate goes to 0.
no.
immediately.
Actually, the
Okay.
performance is fine.
Oh, cool.
what I'm going to highlight is, for those of you who don't know, Team Bondi no longer exists. There was the big drama about like Rockstar was working them like 100-hour work weeks, and it was like really.
Is that the one where like their families were like
Yeah,
calling in,
yeah.
being like, "Please let our husbands come home."
That's
Like,
actually
really bad.
nah. That was Red Dead.
That was Red Dead
but
1?
They probably have said that for every
No,
fucking
but
Rockstar
like Team
game.
Bondi closed down because of the lawsuit that that they put against Rockstar because they lost. So anyway,
Got Rockstar money.
So in the opening credits of the game, like when you're playing the game, Team Bondi's name shows up. So I turn it on for the first time, and I distinctly remember it's in terms of the sound when you first turn it on. It has this weird like 1940s like camera film flutter, and then there's this orchestration, and the camera film flutter is for the Rockstar logo, and then the orchestration is for the Team Bondi logo. And so I turn it on, and I have it docked in the TV, and I'm not paying attention, and I hear the camera flutter, and I go to look up because I'm expecting the Team Bondi orchestration, and it does the camera flutter, and then it just stops. It's like someone hit Control Cut right at the moment that the Team Bondi logo was supposed to show up. And I laughed out loud so hard.
Wait, are they not even in any of the opening credits?
They're named in the opening credits, but their logo is nowhere on the game. It's not on the back of the box.
Ouch,
it's
dude.
Nowhere to be found. And
People
I
like
just
poured their
couldn't-
lives into
I
working
just
on
could
these.
not stop laughing because it wasn't even like they redid the intro.
They just cut it.
They just cut it. Like the camera flutter flows into the orchestration, so it all sounds like one piece of audio.
Yeah.
So it just goes right into stops.
Wow.
And then LA Noire logo. It's so funny. I couldn't stop
Is it
laughing.
like-
I don't know why, but it was.
Would it
was
seem
funny
jarring
me.
to someone who has never played it before?
Like, no. Imagine if you worked at Team Bondi. This was your game, and then you bought it on the Switch.
Yeah.
And you're just sitting there doing whatever, and then you notice,
Yeah.
where's the company's logo?
Where's our
like
shit?
it was just robbed. But it does, like, to someone who's never played
my
it before,
God,
it
dude.
sounds really weird. So
yeah.
I just thought that was really funny.
That is funny.
But on the Switch, it plays fine. Like undocked at 720. The visuals for characters are fine. The city is dead as a doornail, but the city was dead as a doornail when it was on 360.
There was
anyway,
nothing
so
to do in that
It doesn't
city.
make a difference anyway. It's just all ambiance and generic people saying the same 6 lines over and over and over again. So there's nothing about the.
Do you remember one of those lines?
When you're walking through the police station,
Yeah, Sally?
no, the someone says to someone, "I got him in room 2. I think I'm gonna let him sweat for a while."
Yeah.
Just
I got him in
it's
Just that
those-
classic.
just
over and over
classic,
again.
just-
I got him in
every
room
time you
2.
walk,
I'm gonna make him
the first,
sweat for a while.
The first police station is traffic, and you walk down the steps and you pass by like the front desk where I guess the first police officer is at, and he says that almost every time you walk out of there. It's really funny. At first you're like, wow, this is terrible, and then it just gets amusing.
It's funny, dude.
But like they redid, it's funny because they redid the UI for selecting how you're questioning people. So they redid the UI. So in the past it was like accuse, truth, lie, like
Doubt,
pressure,
yeah.
doubt, or
Yeah.
something like that.
That's the meme.
Yeah, yeah.
Extra
Now
doubt.
it's now it's good cop, bad cop, accuse. And it just
What?
it makes more sense when you hear the context of the conversation for how the character reacts, not to what they're gonna say. Because think about when you do choose your dialogue games, you'll hit something like Mass Effect is notorious for this. You'll hit something that sounds like you're a paragon or a renegade, and it sometimes won't come off as aggressive or good. It'll come off as the opposite, or it'll come off as neutral.
Oh, that was the huge fucking problem with Fallout 4's UI.
Yeah, like it didn't
Remember?
seem like it
I do.
fit
They-
what you chose.
They
Hey, I want
created
to be an asshole in
mods
this
and
scene.
shit
Yeah.
to change that.
Yeah.
In
Hey,
Fallout 4.
I want to be an asshole in this conversation. I'd hit what is presumably the asshole button, and it wouldn't fit the same way.
Yeah.
So, like, doubt, for example, is super generic to however Cole is going to respond to things. So they did bad cop, and bad cop makes more sense because he's naturally aggressive in that kind. So I like the changes that they made. I just think not redoing the intro just to cut someone out
That is really
was
funny.
really spiteful and really petty
Yeah.
and really funny. But the game I do want to highlight is the game that took me by surprise on the Switch. I was deeply in the mood for a JRPG, and all of my friends said, you need to get Octopath Traveler.
Oh, so you played
And
it.
I said, absolutely not. I was not interested in Octopath Traveler at all. I was like, nah, not that it's a bad game. It just, I kept seeing it and I was like, this is not for me. It's just not, it's one of those games I'm just not interested in.
But you got it.
So I was like, no, I didn't. So
I thought that's where you're going.
He's like, I want to highlight how much I fucking
though,
hate
right?
this.
Please tell me you got it. So I was like, I really want a JRPG, and people were like, well, there's I Am Setsuna, there's all these other things. I'm like, I'm just not, these aren't speaking to me. And then I'm flipping through,
and you got Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Oh my god! I already had Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and I was fine with it. I beat it. It was whatever. I put it away. I actually got Ys 8, Lacrimosa of Dana.
Oh.
And
I remember when that came out. It looked kind of intriguing.
And it's you look at it on the surface and you go, this doesn't like it's trying to be a full-fledged JRPG on a platform that it shouldn't run really well on, is what it looks like. So I end up getting it because it was on discount, and I have 70 hours into it, and in my opinion, it has some of the best introduction to elements of a JRPG as you go through the game that I've ever played. I've played a lot of Final Fantasy games.
How much is it right now?
It's a $60 game, but I ended up getting it when I got it. It was like I think it was $39.
Okay,
something that was like $40. So anyway, it is. So you go into it. So it falls in the Ys franchise, which is like half-baked Final Fantasy is what it is. But you follow one character throughout the whole series. All the games are like mismatched in terms like you can't play them in chronological order. 1 through 8 is not chronological. Like 8 is technically
but they're all connected.
7, but they're all connected. You're the same character.
Oh shit, gotcha.
In all of them. But they started on like the NES, and there's some on the Vita, there's like some on the PlayStation, and this is the first full-fledged 3D one that they've done.
Oh, I didn't know it was that deep.
Yeah, so it's a 3D hack and slash kind of thing, which I think is crazy. So I'm going to play it, and the idea is your main character is on a boat going to the events of Ys 7, and you get in a shipwreck, and you go on this island, and the island is the entire game. You don't get off the island and go somewhere else.
It's like some Game Boy Zelda thing.
Kind of, sort of, yeah. It's kind of like Adventures of Link, just better.
Oh.
And so they drop you on this island, and the way their progression works is it's not like Xenoblade where you go back and you farm areas to level up. It wants you to go through the adventures. So if you're in an area that's too powerful, you need to go back to another area because you missed a side quest or you missed something. It's kind of like just play, and you're gonna stay within progress of the narrative,
and you'll move on when you get
there. Mm-hmm. The thing that kept blowing me away is every like 10% of the game, they would introduce something that I wasn't expecting. So I'm like, okay, I know I'm going to get support characters based on what I'm playing. So I go through, I get my first 2 support characters. They go, no, you can play as any of the support characters. You don't have to play as the main character. Each one gets their own weapon, and you can level up that weapon using materials you find in the world. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I don't have to play as this one. It's not like Devil May Cry. I'm only Dante through the whole thing.
Right.
I can play as any one of my support characters. Cool, fine. Then you open up this. There's a main like castaway town. So as you find, the purpose of the game is to find castaway survivors, survivors from the accident that you bring back to the town, and each one has like their own abilities. Some people make food. Some people are tailors. Some people are weaponsmiths. And you go to those people, you give them materials, and they make more stuff for you. They can make attachments. They can make weapons. They can do all.
This is just like the plot line for the Cold Harbor section of ESO that I'm playing right now.
Yeah, kind of.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. But that's kind of the gist of it, right? Up to that point.
Is there like a town building aspect to
Kind of,
this?
sort of. The more castaways you find, the more efficient the town becomes. It's not like it's part of the infrastructure; it's part of the narrative, right?
Okay.
So,
Gotcha.
if I miss castaways, then I have no access to weapons, right? Or I have no access to until I go out and I find these people,
Right.
Okay, so there's a little bit of a town building element to it. Then about 20, what I think is 20%, and they go, oh yeah, we're going to add an attack defend element to the game.
To the town?
Now, at random, primordial monsters on the island will come and invade my town. And I could do one of 2 things. I can go back to the town and fight in like an attack defense mini game in which
It's kind of cool.
me and my people are fighting and the townspeople are fighting. The more I've invested in the townspeople, the better they are at defending the town. The higher level I am, the better I am to do this stuff.
Sure.
Boom, I defend it, no big deal. So now all of a sudden there's like a whole nother element to the game. I'm running around, I'm discovering stuff, and then all of a sudden there's a messenger who goes, yeah, there are a bunch of monsters attacking. Or I cannot go
And see what happens.
and see what happens. They might be able to defend it on their own, absolutely. And I might be able to find a castaway in the process. If I do go and I go to defend the town, there's a chance one of the castaways is not going to survive.
Oh,
so there's
shit,
this
really?
weird, like, I have to pick and choose my battles.
Huh.
So investing in my town
That sounds pretty
ensures
cool.
that I
It
can
does
kind of
sound
hold it
cool.
on my own. That's 20% in. So 30% in, they then go, we're going to take the same concept, but we're going to do nightly dungeons. So you go back to areas at night, and the same thing applies. The townspeople actually leave the town, and we attack beast layers.
Whoa.
And if I've invested in them, they do a better job at attacking the beast layers. Because if I do nothing, the raids to my town will increase in time.
So this all happens around your.
This
there's
is like
still
the first
primary
40%
narrative
of the
that's
game.
happening in the game.
Yeah, it's just discovering the island, opening it up, and finding people.
What was it called again?
Ys 8, YS, and then the Roman
I'm gonna
numeral
look.
8.
I'm gonna look.
Lacrimosa of Donna is what it's called. So they have not introduced Donna yet. Until like 60% of the way through, they introduce her.
Hence the subtitle of the title.
Hence the subtitle. They introduce her like 60% of the way through. She's actually someone from the past. But she is existing in the present. And they don't tell
That
you
is
why.
some JRPG shit right there.
JRPG shit. Heavily. Then they go, you get to play. Donna becomes part of your group, so you can play as her. And you can also play as her in the past. And the things you do in the past affect the island in the present. So I can open up areas that are inaccessible.
Oh, that's some cool. That's some cool ass
I
shit.
can find power-ups and abilities for her. At the current moment, she hasn't pulled them into the present, so she loses them somehow, and we don't really know why. Because I haven't beaten it yet.
I was about to ask, are you in the
I
middle
have
of this?
not
You're in the middle of
beaten
this
it yet.
still.
I'm like, I feel like I'm like 70% of the way, so I'm
Okay.
starting to hit the apex of everything.
Okay.
So anyway, they then introduce that smack in the middle of it. So now there's another element of something I can do in a JRPG. Typically in a JRPG, you figure out the game and then you're just along
You're
for
doing
the
it.
ride.
You do the thing.
But they keep throwing things at me. Then they go, hey, in the past, there's a farmable dungeon that you can send Donna through to earn essence and earn abilities for her to use in the past. So now there's like two games happening in this. I get the present of what I'm doing, and then I get the past of what I'm doing. Then they go, oh yeah, each one of
There's
the
more.
castaways that you find has their own side quest. And if they have their own side quest and you earn complete like maximum trust with them, they give you special abilities to use in the raids for the monsters that show up.
Sheesh.
So I'm like,
This game's got systems on
it's
systems on systems.
and that they keep
Yeah.
introducing.
Here's the
but they're
thing.
not systems that like overbear you for where you are. They're systems for where you are in the moment, and then you can access them later. But they're not mandatory. It's a bunch of like optional they keep throwing at
Is
you.
it truly optional, or is it something like you're going to be punished in the game for not following all
I have
these
not
threads?
been punished yet. Or at least I haven't felt that way, because again, the way the progression of the game is like you're just gonna play it. Unlike Xenoblade, where like, oh man, I need to go. I hope I can protect my town 4 more times so I can earn enough experience for my castaways.
Right,
That's
right.
kind of not it. It feels structured, but it's not.
Is that right?
Yes. And so,
Just search for that.
like,
Look that.
I just keep finding myself.
Probably a space.
Yeah.
space.
Make a space and then put the Roman numeral 8.
Oh.
Because it's a JRPG. But at the end of it, I keep coming back to this game over and over and over and over again, and I keep putting time into it.
$60.
And I'm just like, I was not expecting this. It's the Switch
Oh, if I
game
click
that I
that?
bought that I thought was going to be okay, and I'm like deeply in love with
And
this
like,
game.
damn, it's actually worth putting the time into.
Oh my goodness, it's so good. But it's a third-party hack and slash. But when you look at it on the surface, you go, this kind of looks weird. It doesn't really look cool. There's nothing about it that stands out until you are like exploring the island and you go, man, this island's fucking huge.
Yeah.
And then they go, this is the last thing, by the way. And then they there's one more. And then they go,
Billy Mays here.
oh, here's a I'm trying to think of a game that would use it from time to time. It's like an item, not buff system, but like it gives you abilities that you wouldn't have before. So like there's an item you can find that gives your character the ability to double jump. So you can access areas of the map you couldn't before. There's an item that you find that allows you to breathe underwater, which means all the water areas that I've been passing that I thought were just ambiance for where I was.
Nah,
No,
there's shit in there.
there's
Explorable.
shit in there. So like
Jesus.
every time I run into something, it got to the point that I was like, I need to buy the version that's on the Vita. I have to. Not
You've
that
been playing this on Switch?
this is on the Switch.
But you need to know
There's
story-wise
there's-
what's happening.
Yeah, so East
Oh,
7
you're in
and
now, dude.
East
You're gonna be going back
there's
all the way
something
to
called Celeste of- I
Nintendo,
can't remember what
whatever
it
it
is.
is.
It's on the Vita for like $15.
You're gonna go all the way.
You
back.
opened a rabbit hole and you can't close it.
Oh,
now.
I can't now.
You can't close
it. But again, there's nothing about this game that says it's great. It's one of those like. Remember when you would walk in a GameStop? First of all, that phrase is just hilarious. Remember when you would walk in a GameStop and you would just look at the wall and go,
What do
"That
I,
right
What do
there.
I want today? Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
really know what it is. I'm gonna try it and return it in 3 days. Whatever the return policy is at GameStop, I don't know. But I'll just bring it back. I'll play it and see how it is, and then you find out that you love the game. Like this is what that was, and it's rare to get it now because I buy everything digitally.
Right.
But I have to like buy it and then not play it
Yeah.
because I go, oh, this just is not great. Mm-hmm. So, but that's been my Switch experience, and
That's
it
a
is
nice little find,
fantastic.
dude.
Are you looking forward to the other titles this year?
I am.
You getting Smash?
I'm going
ask-
to.
gotta ask you.
Everyone just auto gets smashed.
So,
It's a
but
fact.
here's the thing.
Okay,
I
so
think-
everyone's at this table's getting Smash.
I'm
much-
not necessarily auto getting smashed.
You're getting smashed.
You're getting Smash.
Yeah.
Am I getting smashed?
You're getting smashed.
You're getting
I'll
Smash.
get smashed.
Here's the thing. I am getting Smash. Smash is one of those games. I'm getting it not really with the intent to play it unless someone is there with me.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when I used to own sports games. I would only play sports
same
games
here.
if I knew someone was
A
coming
buddy
over
was going to play with you.
Yeah, if somebody was coming over.
Other than that, is just
That's
going
the
to
thing.
be
It's like-
in my library. to
Everyone's
own and
going to
exist in,
have this
that's it.
game. You need to have
Now,
this game.
yeah.
Now, Felix, in like a month or two, Mario Party comes out.
yeah,
Mario Party, I'm not going to
That's a game I'm
Mario
going
Party,
to
I'm
be
not
interested.
going
I'm very excited about.
Nope.
I mean,
Mario Party ruins friendships. I've learned
It's-
early on.
It does-
is
it
a
does.
It looks,
damaging
it's
game
dangerous.
that I will
It tells
not
you.
own.
It tells you who the real ones are. That's what it is.
Well, you think Mario Party might be good for my couch co-op streams?
yes.
Yes, yes.
I
Dude,
wholeheartedly
absolutely.
think yes.
We could do a whole squad couch co-ops with Mario Party and just like Diamond Jeb
It
said,
gets
end
real
friendships.
sweet.
It'll be the end of the
thought-
podcast broadcast.
Yes, it
live.
will.
Broadcast.
If you're
live.
gonna play it post 200. That way you have a solid number to land on. Before
Right.
you leave.
200 episodes, we're good.
Yeah,
we're going
we're
to
good.
end this
That's it. It's done.
violently
It's over.
live on stream.
Done deal.
Maybe a death involved. Who knows?
Oh my god. But no, I am excited for Switch games. I am.
I'm very much so.
I've been rediscovering the Switch. It's been my like wind down system. I've been playing Skyrim
yeah.
again on it.
Oh, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice. You know, I love it.
Yeah, I started a Skyrim save on my Switch.
Yeah,
Of course I did.
of course you do.
I do want to get Hyper Light Drifter on Switch.
Yeah.
Never played it on PC or any of the other platforms it came out on, but it's on Switch now, so like,
know what that is?
gotta do it.
Mine is probably going to be Undertale. Undertale is a game I've never
Yeah.
played,
Yep.
and now it's on the Switch.
That's I just
I
added that to
wanna
my
get that-
wish list. Yeah.
I want to get that one that was at E3, the Devolver title that's coming out.
My friend Pedro,
My friend Pedro.
Yeah, that. Is
the
that
one
it?
where he's doing all the flips.
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
shooting.
that one.
Yeah,
Yeah, when's
that
that,
looks-
come out?
Don't know. I have to look it up,
haven't
but
announced it yet.
that was a hot looking title.
Yeah,
right
I'm
there.
gonna buy that when it comes out.
Discounted, by the way. Binding of Isaac.
Oh.
Binding of Isaac is discounted right now. and,
Something I've seen everywhere. It's been on my Steam list forever, and I
Binding
never
of
bought it.
Isaac is disgustingly good.
Is that like what was that like? What's that like?
It's a top-down roguelite where you play a child
Oh,
who
I
shoots
like those
tears
now.
at
I like those now.
monsters as he fights out
I like those now.
of his mother's basement.
Yeah, I
Based off the biblical tale.
my first roguelike,
Loosely based on the biblical tale.
Diamond. My first roguelike was Dead Cells. I bought that.
Dead Cells, yeah.
Yeah, it's
I'm
good.
addic-
A lot of people
fucking-
like Dead Cells.
Fucking addicted to that shit.
Yeah, a lot of people like Dead Cells.
Yeah, got to the ramparts. That's as far as I've gotten.
Keep pushing, you'll make it.
Yeah,
But
maybe.
But yeah, so that's been my Switch time.
That's if you were to ask me, what game are you not expecting to hear about tonight?
East 8
that
Lacrimosa
might have
Donna.
been-
I
might have
can
been
guarantee
on the
to
top
you,
of the list.
as I tell people all the time, I am an avid gamer. I am not a specific gamer. I will play almost anything. I will dislike almost anything, regardless of what it is.
But you'll try it.
But I will. The library is deep.
Good man.
I will buy just to own it,
Good man.
just to play it. So.
Cool. I mean, there's two more of us, but we've all been pretty much on the same page.
Yeah.
Other than
Yeah, we all have.
Yeah.
I mean, I could talk about the COD Blops thing. The
Is it
the
true
PUBG.
that is just it's just an because I was Felix, this is funny.
I mean,
I was
yeah.
listening
Locke
to
talked about
I was
last
watching
week,
you
so,
guys. Is this just an optimized PUBG? Like,
very much so. That is literally what it is. It
real
feels
crisp, clean.
If I were to summarize it in like 2 sentences, it's PUBG that feels like a full-fledged game that runs well. The movement feels good. The guns feel good. Like everything about it feels good. And they added a couple like Call of Duty flares to it, so it feels like a Call of Duty game that you're playing. But other than that, it's tight. It's real tight.
Real tight.
And going back to PUBG
real tight.
feels real bad. It doesn't feel as smooth. It reminds you of like why you like the battle royale genre at the same time as going, I can't play PUBG anymore because I know what a good version of this feels like.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Wow.
Yeah.
Is PUBG? What would be the last company this is my opinion, that has done less with their position of power than PUBG?
Oh boy.
PUBG was at the top of the
Yeah,
charts
and did nothing with
But
it.
but
then got overtaken by a company that did it better, and now is going to get overtaken by a company that has arguably done the same thing.
But here's the thing, though. Epic had nothing going for it with Fortnite.
Oh yeah.
No one cared about Save the World, that other game mode. And then in like 4 months, they were like, "Hey guys, we just made a battle royale mode."
That's what's so
Yeah.
funny. They were just like, so we're experimenting with stuff. We just put together a battle royale. Let us know what you think.
Yep.
And
Explosion.
and they released it because they released it free.
Yeah, that was definitely part of it.
That doesn't sustain a game.
But it's
though.
also what
No.
is
That
computer? No.
Yes.
Windows.
Love
no.
Windows. Love Windows, dude.
All right.
Yes, please restart right now while we're in the middle of all of our
Jesus
shit.
Christ.
Oh my god.
How
And
do
it
you
had like
know?
a timer on the
How
screen.
does it know that you're in the middle
got
of some shit?
30 minutes.
You're in the
Get
middle of
this
shit.
together now.
But yeah, and also like Fortnite, albeit is a more polished game as well than PUBG.
Yeah, they've iterated on that way more than PUBG has.
The game is so polished that it can run on your phone, and you can play with people on your computer. That's how good the game. That's how good it feels to play the game.
I will
That's
tell you
why
right
people
now,
play it.
If there's anyone that's going to put the PUBG and Fortnite in the water, it's going to be Call of Duty.
I would say yes.
If anyone is just going to demolish
For
it,
me
it's gonna be
personally,
Call of
the
Duty.
price point of $60 for just to play that mode is probably a little too much. I would have to be like, okay, let's see what this zombies thing is all about. I would have to like explore the other games.
You
they
never
have in there.
played zombies
Same
back
as-
in the day?
I have.
I played
have.
fucking
But like, I
zombies.
don't like care about it. Like,
don't
it's
care
not
about it
something.
either.
It's not something that I'm like gonna be like, yeah, I gotta play the new Call of Duty Zombies. Yeah.
I only played
You know?
Dead Living Zombies. from
Is that
now
any
on out.
different than Overwatch?
What, zombies mode?
No, paying $60 for a pure multiplayer.
I didn't pay $60 for Overwatch.
Okay.
I paid $40. I just bought the $40 version, and I got a ton of hours out of that. But here's the
I'm
thing.
not saying you didn't get hours. I'm just
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
the initial price point of something.
But $60.
that
I
is
mean,
only
I put
multiplayer.
300 hours into PUBG. I can easily do it again in Call of Duty Black Ops.
Oh, yeah,
Blackout
because every
mode or
match
whatever.
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. But we'll see. I don't want to go too deep into it because I know we want to talk about something else.
Yeah.
So why don't we just jump right into it?
the news?
Dig right into
You want
that
to go right
shit.
into the news?
Let's do the news.
Dive in.
Yeah.
All right. So
Flipping the script.
Just flipping the
fuck
script.
it.
Yeah.
so this
No
week
spoilers,
we had to
please. I might play this eventually.
What?
I'm just kidding.
play what?
I'm
You mean
totally fucking with you.
wait?
I'm very confused.
Do you know? Wait. Do you know what I'm going to say?
I don't know what you're going to talk about.
All right,
did
guys,
you-
let's talk about Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. No spoilers involved, please, for this game that's been out for 2 decades.
Fast forward 10 minutes.
All right, because what I was gonna say was we're gonna be losing some games because Telltale Studios has closed.
Yeah.
That's what I thought you were going to go
I
first,
thought he
and
was
that's
go-
why.
And
no,
I'm like,
I
wait,
thought he
what
was
is he
going
gonna-
into
what's he
Destiny.
talking about?
I thought he was going into Destiny.
No,
Oh, no.
we flipped it. On
flipped
you.
it on
We're
you.
Flipped
sorry.
it on me. No, whatever.
Look, you swung real hard, and that's what gets the ball out of the park. But it didn't happen today, and
But
that's
I missed.
okay. Ryan Howard had a position of power for a long time on the Phillies because he swung for the fences every time.
He did.
And you know what, man? I appreciate that out of
We
you.
throwing sports into this bitch? Come on.
You get everything. You get everything out of this podcast. Everything.
Ryan Howard reference.
Get all your needs met.
So
Anyway, Telltale's dead. Rip.
Oh my god.
Well,
Well,
it is true. It is true. That's not a joke. That's fact.
yeah, so apparently 250 people have been laid off.
Yeah.
And there is now a skeleton crew of 25 employees there managing it until, I guess, the rest of The Walking Dead comes out.
Can you imagine being one of 25 left after like 100% more of you?
Has been let
100
go.
times more.
I can imagine the other side. A
10 times.
really good friend of
Math.
mine, or a good friend of mine, works at worked at Telltale, and she's been on Twitter just like it's. She posted a tweet recently that was just like, when it happened, it hasn't really hit me, but apparently they're setting aside like 3 hours for everyone who got laid off to come back and get their stuff. Because apparently they just got marched out of the fucking building in like less than an hour.
That's
They're
awful.
like, you guys are laid
Jesus.
off. Have a good one. Goodbye. And like a bunch of people left. So there's
No
all these
warning.
like empty computers and I have
Still
I have
logged
no
in.
idea. I have no idea if there was like a warning or not.
Yikes,
and
dude.
she posted on Twitter today. She was like, a bunch of companies are putting together like job fairs for like Telltale Jobs is the hashtag that's going around. And she said they're setting aside 3 hours for everyone to come back and get their stuff.
Oh my god.
So they had other projects in the work there too. That
Yeah.
just got like
just
Minecraft
got
Story
canned.
Mode
Done.
still being worked on, and now
That
it's
shit is
gone.
done.
I forgot they were responsible for the Lego games.
No, that's TT.
That's Traveler's Tales.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
Lego games live.
Damn.
Boom.
I know. I used to do
Wow.
the same. I used to have the same like mix up in my
Traveler's
brain.
Tales.
No, those games are fine.
All right, cool.
Don't
Thank
worry
God,
about
thank
it.
God.
Warner
thank
Brothers. You're okay.
But
Sheesh.
here's what confuses me about this studio. They had like a solid 2 years where they were just nonstop pumping out titles.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, Borderlands. They did the Borderlands game.
Yeah.
The Wolf Among Us, Walking Dead, and even before that they had like Back to the Future and Jurassic Park.
Yep.
Like these guys were putting out titles like crazy. The Batman game I thought was well received. Like
Yeah. They won awards.
I played-
don't think
I
it's
actually-
where
I
the
played
closing-
through Game of
is-
Thrones, and I
why
love Game
is-
of Thrones.
Why is that not a sign? Because they went from releasing 2 stories a year, well, technically 1 story a year when Walking Dead came out, and around the transition from 1 to 2, they moved into a new building. Then they went to 2 stories a year. Then they were talking about 3 stories a year because in a calendar year they had Batman, they had can't remember what
Borderlands, Game of Thrones.
yeah. No, Borderlands. No. They had Batman and Batman: The Evil Within was a year between one another.
Right.
And then they were working on The Wolf Among Us 2, and they were also working on Walking
Dead, the final season.
The final season. So that's 4 games in less than 2
All right,
years.
so part of this report saying the Walking Dead team was also laid off.
Yeah.
And the Walking Dead final season will not be completed.
Correct.
So
They
the
interrupted
the
an entire launch.
end of the season is not going to even complete. It's just never gonna. You're never gonna know the end. Oh my god.
Oh, that would really bother
Dude,
me if I played
at
those
E3
games.
and other gaming conventions this year, I watched panels of the voice cast.
Yeah.
Like talk about them making the final season.
Yeah.
Like they were discussing
It's
like it's
done.
They were like, it feels so good to finish this. Like I'm really glad we can see Clem's story come to an end.
Boom! Game over. Uppercut. to
And
the
I'm
jaw.
like, what?
How far along were they in the process?
I think they're 2 episodes in.
So I don't even know if the next episode's coming out.
My guess is no.
They do work like they complete one and then they start on the next one. Like they're I don't think they're going like
They're
in
not
tandem.
like working on them at the
Yeah.
same time.
I don't think so.
The let go employees were informed that they would not receive severance either.
Yeah,
correct.
They're
Yeah, I
like
had heard
done.
Yeah.
And it's one thing for like the visceral situation to happen, right? Where EA was just like, nope, you guys are just done. Like whatever you're working on, we don't really care. Game over. And there were probably details we don't know about in that.
Oh,
scenario.
100%.
Oh,
yeah.
of course.
But the Telltale thing is a whole nother thing entirely because it's not like I was just skimming through what was happening. There were like quotes from like the heads that were just like, we tried.
We released some of our best content this year and received a tremendous amount of positive feedback, but ultimately that did not translate to sales.
Yeah.
Damn.
It just didn't sell. And I think
What killed
it's
it?
proof. in my opinion, it's the episodic nature. They should have seen what happened to Hitman. Hitman was a true episodic game, and it won a Game of the Year, and that shit didn't sell. So what did they do this time around? Hitman 2 is a full game.
And they're actually including all of Hitman 1
and they're including all of Hitman 1 in it. So, like, the idea of releasing things episodically worked for a time.
To a point, yeah.
To an extent. It just doesn't. I just don't think it works anymore.
Also, in that time, the beginning of Final Fantasy VII's remake started, and then we've since heard that they've shifted their plans away from episodic games.
They said they were releasing Final Fantasy VII in 3 games, and people lost their fucking mind.
Yep.
I was one of those people, yeah.
I said, absolutely no. What are you going to charge me? $60 per? That's $180 for what is technically almost a 20-year-old game that you're just putting a brand new skin on and make it look nice? I'm sure it plays great, but I'm not interested in that.
Yeah.
Better give it to me all, or don't give it to me at all. Like, so I get it, but it sucks because there are a lot of talented people. Batman won a ton of awards, and actually, Batman is one of my favorite moments between two characters in a game. There's a moment where in the first season, Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle are Bruce Wayne is hurt and they're on a couch. There's a lot of like romantic tension in that room, and it's not much, but Bruce asks for permission before the sex scene happens, and it's small. It's really fucking small.
Wait, what do you mean by? I don't understand. What do you mean by that?
So,
what do you mean by
before
permission?
they get into?
He's like, "Milady, may I have this sex?"
No.
Like, what is?
So there's always this weird relationship between the two characters in comic books, right? Even to the extent that now when they're getting married in the comic books, there's different context in that situation. Mm-hmm. But historically, Bruce's relationships with women from as Bruce Wayne has always been portrayed as the billionaire boy with money. Mm-hmm. As Batman, he has a very different relationship, but this was not him as Batman. This was him as Bruce Wayne being with Selina Kyle. So they removed their counterparts from the equation and treated them as two individuals who had feelings towards one another, but didn't really like it. They didn't know how to treat it.
Gotcha.
And there's a moment when Bruce can make a choice. He could say, I don't want to continue with this, or he wants to continue with it. But rather than pressing a button and watching it happen, they have dialogue around what's happening. And to me, it was a big deal because it's very easy to assume that fans of the show or fans of the character know the relationship between these two characters, right? But my wife, who doesn't really know, she knows a little bit, but not much, has a different context. She's taking it as two individuals, not as I see it, as Batman and Catwoman. Mm-hmm. That's how I see it. So I have all this context, and the way they treated it was I really enjoyed it. I was genuinely surprised that they went that route because it's very easy to just ignore it entirely and just, okay, you press a button and they're going to have sex and the screen fades to black and that's the end of it. But there was this like flirtatious back and forth. You were choosing dialogue choices in that scenario about how far one individual would go and she would match it. It was like cat and mouse essentially,
right?
Which made sense for her character to me, but it added to the relationship, which I really enjoyed.
So I have a question.
Sure.
If Telltale shuts down, are they their publisher?
I don't know who publishes Telltale games.
So the question is would I not be able to get, when they shut down, would I not be able to get the Batman game? Would it be pulled?
They're probably still be on. Okay, are you looking it up?
Well, no, because I'm on airplane mode. So fuck me.
Also this week, just we'll figure that out later. But
I did want to play
also this
that.
week, Capcom Vancouver shut down.
Oh yeah.
Capcom pulled the plug on the new Dead Rising title in the works, and Capcom Puzzle Fighter.
Okay, I can live with that.
Who did that? So that was two major studio closures this week.
I think I'm okay with that.
You're okay missing that game?
Yeah,
I do like puzzles.
I played Dead Rising 4 and I was like, I think I'm over this.
The series, yeah. I think that's what was going on too.
I didn't play really any of these games. I killed both of those studios. It was my fault. Sorry.
Personally,
all your fault.
Felix
Capcom
Urquhart's
Puzzle.
fault.
Whatever it is.
Puzzle Fighter.
Puzzle Fighter. Sure.
So there you go. That's the big news I got this
It's
week.
crazy though, man.
Yeah,
because they
closures.
did like have really good content in their games.
Yeah.
Like, you were like your story you just talked
great.
about. The only one that I really
So
played in depth
good.
was the Game of Thrones game. But
How was that?
Incredible.
Was it?
All the voice talent was there.
Wow.
When you ran into characters, like, 'cause it was about this they're like a different family, and then characters from that family that all interacted, and they had interactions with the main characters from the show, and the plot exists inside of the show world.
Contextually.
With the voice actors?
With the voice actors, yeah. And so you see these moments from the show that are wild, right? Like you start the game as someone who was just attending the red wedding, and you're caught outside while the shit's going down inside. Like it's cool. It's cool
I think I
perspective.
want to play that.
Good luck.
But like whenever you ran into the people
Too late.
from the show, the main characters, Lena Headey did the voice of Cersei, and just everything had so much weight because you realize, oh my god, I'm in this world. I'm walking around the Red Keep right now in King's Landing. Like it was
You
so,
know what's fucking
it was,
going on
it was
in there.
really cool.
Yeah.
Like walking around the gardens at Marjorie's wedding. It was cool. It was cool and done really well as a fan of the show. Yeah. Some people minimize the games by saying that they're just walking around pressing X, which at a certain point, it's not wrong, right? Like there's some advanced, air quotes, advanced mechanics.
I would just call them highly accessible narrative tales.
Right.
They're
like
accessible to anybody.
But that's what they are.
The point of it is to enjoy the story and to explore a living book is kind of how I always saw it, you know?
It's great. I mean, they were like, you know, that was their
It's
thing.
a narrative experience to get you into the world of whatever genre they decided to tackle or brand, trademark, you know, story world they decided to kind of open up.
You know what games they did that are they're really good, but everyone forgets that they did? They did Poker Night at the Inventory.
Oh my god!
I don't even know what that is.
Wait, they did Valve's Poker Night
They
too?
did Valve. They did Poker Night at the Inventory too. Yeah. They did
my
Valve's Poker
God.
Night. They did Poker Night at the Inventory,
All right,
and then they did
picture
Poker Night
this:
2.
Brock Sampson, Claptrap, Gladys, and Sam and Max,
And Ash Williams from The Evil Dead
and Ash Williams, all at the same table playing poker.
with you.
Did I say Brock Sampson?
You did.
Yes, you did.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
From Venture Brothers.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Holy shit.
And then imagine in the first game it's
voiced?
Oh yeah,
All voiced.
Oh
Are they
yes, all voiced.
Oh, yeah.
Fully voiced. And then in the
What?
first game it's Max instead of Sam's in the second one. Max, Tycho from Penny Arcade, Heavy from Team Fortress 2, Strong Bad,
Okay, yep.
and then there might be one more. I can't remember what it is.
This is a game I
This is
never
like-
knew existed and never knew that I needed.
It's a poker game. That's all it
love
is.
What is this
fucking
called?
love
I need-
Poker Night. If you go in the App Store, it's called. Actually, I think it's still available in the App Store. Poker
definitely on
Night
Steam,
2. It's
think.
definitely on Steam. Poker
Yeah.
Night at the Inventory.
Holy shit. That's
It's just
wild.
a poker game. I put so many hours because
That's
the
crazy.
dialogue is so good.
Yo, do you remember when like Infinity War was coming out and everyone was doing those memes about like, oh, this is the greatest crossover of all time, and then like this
Nah,
game
bro.
goes, hold my beer.
Hold my beer. Poker Night at the Inventory. Get
Yeah.
out of here with that no, Poker Night at the Inventory is really good.
That's
So
wild.
crazy.
And then they did like Sam and Max and all those games. Like
Yeah, that's how I remember them.
That's how I remember them
Yeah,
too.
Sam and Max games.
But yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame.
is.
Makes me cry.
All right, our hearts go out to all the developers.
Yeah,
I hope
especially
they
from
get-
a job perspective. man, it sucks.
it's a very talented bunch. So I hope that
They'll find work,
land at
I
a
hope.
location.
Don't take the engine with them. They should leave that.
Emily, good luck.
Oh. So shall we get into it? That's all the news.
That's all the news.
Yeah.
I mean,
If something else happened, I don't really care.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really.
That's it.
I'm not interested.
The other things I
You
got
want
on
to
my
talk about East 8 some more? You want to-
It was kind of a quiet week. I mean, not for us. We
no.
no.
The Destiny newseth been floweth.
it has.
Yeah.
It
It's-
floweth.
There's personal news. There's a couple community discussions
Yes.
around
Oh wait,
aspects.
Tokyo
of the
Game Show is happening right now.
Yeah, they dropped another
Death Stranding trailer.
Death Stranding trailer. Did you guys watch that?
Weird
course
as
I
fuck.
I don't
watched it.
care. I
don't
don't care. Why? Walking Simulator 2019?
Yeah.
Wait
Yeah.
until they
Dude.
show me some. I need to see
Dude.
a UI HUD.
You are
I know.
already.
That's
you
what
are-
I need to
You are
see.
playing the
I know.
game right now.
I
You are in
This
Kojima's
is happening
right now.
I need
simulation.
I need a trailer with a UI interface
Yeah,
on it.
we have not seen
before I
any
will
UI.
fucking buy this game.
I don't need
that
it.
shit is a
I don't need
2-hour movie. I'm telling you, it's not a game.
All right.
He's about to charge you $60 for a movie.
I'm all right with.
He's
Well,
been wanting to make one his
These are
entire
all things
life.
we've said on this podcast.
I
I'm
know.
telling you,
100%.
it's
I
not a
I'm
game.
feeling shamed right
I'm
now.
putting money on it. It's not a game.
Neo, this trailer.
This shit is
It's
a,
nothing.
This
It's
shit
literally
is a
nothing.
PlayStation
No, but you know.
5 test video. Is what it is.
You know
All
that,
right.
you know that I am and have especially been someone who's like, it's not a game yet. We haven't
It's
seen
not.
it. And you know that I've
There
said
is
this.
a game in there. He's
Sure.
just not. He's skirting
What?
around it right now. Let him do it. Let him play his
but-
mind games with us. All right. Just let him have fun.
This trailer got me a little bit more excited than some of the other
Because
ones.
Troy Baker's in it.
Yeah.
See,
But
all
you know
right.
what it is? You know what it is?
Yeah.
At least what I think it is. It's not just Troy Baker. But he brought life to that character. And there's a new, very expressive character in a world where we've heard no one actually
It's all been
have
dreary and
interaction with anyone
Melodrama-
else.
melodrama.
Besides, like the last, I think the E3 trailer showed some slight dialogue, but I saw this and I'm like,
look-
oh, this guy seems like a cool antagonist. And is it because we've been so starved of anything else that I'm like, oh shit?
Here's the thing.
Here's talking. This game has
Let's
talking.
give it talking. Let's give it Game of the Year
Wait,
right
stop.
now.
we're at a point in the marketing of this game where we've been here before in Kojima's world.
100%
All right?
we have,
We've
yeah.
we've been on this train ride before. Okay.
Yes.
I don't know about this one. I might disagree. Think about remember the only
Metal
other
Gear
games you
Solid
got.
5 was pretty crazy.
I'm not saying it wasn't crazy, but we knew what it was.
Did
it's a
we, though?
Metal Gear game.
Okay, but
So the moment he throws Metal Gear, but
do you remember
this is
how
a
he
new-
announced Metal Gear Solid 5? Do you remember he like invented a fake studio?
No, I'm with you.
Do you remember that?
Has he gone through certain antics? Yes. What I'm saying is the reason it's different is because this is
We don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's a step away from
Right.
He's on a different platform. It's his own company. There's no
same
there's-
platform.
There's no
This-
Konami.
This,
there's no.
it
there's
could
none
all
of
just
that.
be like a Puyo Puyo skin, for all we know.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
it could be anything.
Look, he's
What's
showing
a
us
Puyo Puyo skin?
You know,
Puyo Puyo is a puzzle game.
it's
Don't
a
worry
puzzle
about
game.
it.
You know, like
Don't worry about it.
the little blobs drop and you have to connect the colors together.
Look,
It just was recently bundled with Tetris on the
Oh
Switch.
my
Like they
God.
drop from the ceiling usually like in groups of 2, and you got to connect 4 for them all to
Okay.
blow up.
it's Dr. Mario.
It's
you can twist them
Puyo
around.
It's Dr. Mario.
But
Well,
like,
Dr. Mario.
literally, look. All I'm saying is, I watched. I haven't seen this most recent trailer. It's got
like-
Troy
it's a
Baker.
minute.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Whatever. The long trailer we showed, at least I knew that Zelda was Breath of the Wild, and it looked like Zelda. He
Breath
was
of the Wild was
climbing-
Zelda.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
I knew that it was a Zelda game,
Right,
and I
right.
knew that comes with this.
Yes.
Because this is not Metal Gear, all I'm seeing
yeah.
is dude walking around, he's climbing on shit, and he's got big ass backpacks on.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's a walking simulator. I haven't seen anything else.
I feel like he's at this point he's just showing us set dressing. He's showing us
and that's fine.
all kinds of
That's
weird
not an
shit.
assumption. That's definitely what's
That's-
happening.
what he's
definitely
doing.
what's happening. Yeah,
I
yeah.
think when we get closer to whenever this fucking game's coming out, because it's clearly not soon. Otherwise, we'd be seeing. I bet when he's ready, we'll see. Okay, wait. Would you prefer? I'm guessing you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say you're gonna prefer the non-Kojima version.
I'm over
but-
here saying that I like this shit.
No, I know you like this shit.
I'm
talk-
about
I'm
to-
talking to
I'm not
Diamond
saying
Jab. I'm talking to
I
Diamond Jab.
don't
Wait,
like
stop.
it.
All right. So would you rather have the Red Dead version of marketing where they don't show us like anything? They haven't shown us. We haven't seen much of the game yet, up until the point of release. Or would you rather have these little trickle, like weird vignette videos?
My typical like preferred release, regardless of the content,
Yeah.
I would prefer the Red Dead way of doing it. If I
don't
had my
don't
way.
show us anything until you're done.
Don't even. I don't need to see anything.
What I will say about Red Dead's trailer that they released is that you were positive that you were watching gameplay.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing.
The most
So,
recent one.
I like
Yeah.
the Red Dead way of doing things.
Right, the very
I don't
first one.
necessarily
Yeah, not
like
necessarily, yeah.
Fucking first two.
The 10-minute
Suck.
vignettes that we've been getting.
I don't necessarily like the pompous this is what our game does. Let's talk about weapon reloading and like
oh,
that.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
you're
I'm
at a
I'm not
panel at
into
E3.
yeah. I'm not interested in that. What I am
Players can
interested- like
discover the
Cyberpunk
world.
is a really good example. They showed the CG trailer and said, "Yeah, you're gonna get this eventually." Period. End of discussion.
but like you got like a 45-minute gameplay
Well,
demo.
that was the second thing you got. 'Cause
Right.
remember, they announced Cyberpunk the first time.
Yeah.
Then we were all expecting them to be at E3, and then they were at the end at Xbox, and they said, "Yes, we're officially here."
Yeah, and then they were
had
behind
the
closed doors demo, yeah.
that I'm okay with. because I'm trusting that Kojima is working on something, and
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. But as Kojima continues to give me things, the more you put in my hand, let's use the card game example, right? If all I want are high cards, Kojima is giving me, here's a 2.
Yeah,
Here's a 3. Here's a 4. I know eventually I'm going to get an ace.
You're gonna get an ace, buddy.
Here's another
It's
2.
gonna be a fly
Here's
ace.
another 3. And I'm sitting here with like a full hand of cards, and I'm like, can I just get the fucking ace, please? Like, a matter of fact, I don't even want the ace. Let me just get a face card.
Yeah.
Something other than what
Something.
I've gotten.
Oh, man.
That makes me go.
There are no
cool.
brakes on this Kojima train.
No,
right?
not at
There's
all.
No
There's
brakes.
no breaks.
I think what drew me to this one versus the other ones is that being a lore fan of the
He
content
seems
that
very,
I'm into,
very like a lore. you know,
this
very much
this
like lore.
expanded areas of this game that I'm trying to figure out. Right, I'm trying to fucking figure out what the hell is happening in this
but
game.
you're trying to put what you think is lore on what you think this world is about.
Yeah, I don't have any definite answers, but you know what he did? This Troy Baker person.
I haven't actually seen it, so I'm
going to spoil this trailer for you.
It's a minute and a half.
He,
It's fine.
he takes his bottom half of his mask off. He's wearing this
like a
gold
skull mask, yeah.
And he throws it in the black water, and he manipulates it into this gigantic beast that then is about to attack
and
Norman Reedus.
it looks like you're about to take on some kind of challenge.
So Troy Baker's the bad guy?
It looks like he's definitely an antagonist of some sort.
Okay.
Good or bad, you know. Maybe what's the guy's name for Final Fantasy 15 that just kind of strolled around in a big hat and just
oh, you mean
pissed
the
you
bad
off all the
guy?
time?
Motherfucker.
Arden.
Bullshit game.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What's up, boys?
Don't talk to me.
Anyway.
I love
You
15.
love that
I
game?
love
Oh,
15.
Jesus.
I love
You want to talk about a
15.
story with no satisfying anything?
You want to talk about episodic content?
They're still putting out
15.
more
They're
DLC.
Still, they
They're
announced
still
3 more
finishing that
episodes.
game.
I said,
Jesus
let's
Christ.
go. That game gets better every time I play it.
Let's go.
Are we talking about Final Fantasy 15?
Yes, I love 15.
They're
The
still
game that
releasing
came out
shit for
There's
this?
still
2
pushing
years
shit
ago,
out.
and they're still
I have
finishing the
announced
story
plans
of
for,
this
for
game.
more. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, that made me so mad. All right.
I don't know. I thought
Well, how much is the episode?
You don't have to side with me if you don't want to. It's okay.
no because for the 99 out of the past 100 times you talked about this, I was in your seat saying the exact same shit.
I love 15.
And no. Oh, sorry, I was talking about Death Stranding.
Oh, Death
I do
Stranding.
love
back
15.
on.
But my opinion is still the same about Death Stranding. Like I said, all I want is just...
I know it's like
I need
a piecemeal game.
Look,
I need
I bought
a UI.
I bought
That's
a
all I
product.
want.
I bought a product, and I just wanted it to be a complete product.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I left.
That's not
I
the
wa-
industry anymore.
I walked away, but then
That's
don't.
not-
then
It
don't,
is
then
for
don't
some
sell
companies.
me that. Then don't sell that to me.
You're
like
not
that.
going to buy anything then.
So,
Then,
What do you think?
Then
Season passes are a
make
part of
better,
every single
Make a
game
better
that's
product. Then I'm sorry. Period. Like I finished that game and I went. I don't know anything about
That's
these
the thing.
characters, but
So-
the core
but
four.
you're
Story
debating
was
the
trash,
quality
yeah.
of the product. You're not debating the release of them. Those are two different things. The release of the product, you can have an issue with the game. That I'm okay with.
The game, yes, it had gameplay. This is
Yeah,
true.
You could say I don't like Final Fantasy 15 because it's not really a great Final Fantasy game. Dope. I am absolutely for that opinion. But if your issue with Final Fantasy 15 is, well, the way it's released is I have a problem with. That's it. Like, you should have an issue with Assassin's Creed.
All right,
then.
is there like a game of the year version of Final Fantasy 15
yeah,
that I
the
can
Royal Edition. Yeah.
And then that's got
That's
all
just like
the
$40.
stuff.
It's got everything. And they let you sail
All
on the
right.
boat.
But I thought you
The
bought
boat
it
that
already.
You cinematically move through.
Yeah,
You can drive
I
it?
bought
yeah.
it when it came
Yeah,
out
you can
2
actually drive
years
it now and
ago.
fight sea monsters.
Shit, maybe I should buy it
And
on
they
PC.
they
my
finished
God,
the
here
game
we go.
after the fact. All right, we're cross talking.
I know. That's
Let's
I just really don't want to talk about it.
let's sidestep to
fine. Well, I mean, how long do we have to spend on Destiny? Because I'm sure the listeners are annoyed at it. We can recap our recent adventure, which I think would be cool. But I mean,
So I think the economy question and the rate. Those
yeah,
are
the economy
two
stuff.
you want
big
to
things.
you want to discuss how people are saying it's too expensive with the Masterwork course.
the Master Core economy is definitely a current issue.
I saw that
Yeah.
tweet that you retweeted about the Gambit meme.
Yeah, dude.
I liked that.
I loved this shit.
All
Did
right,
you
all
see
right,
that?
all right.
Yeah,
He's like, what are we gonna complain about today?
Yeah, flips in its Master Cores.
I was like,
All right, all right, all right.
This-
what are we
this
complaining
meme
about today?
touches me in a
Masterwork Cores on Twitter.
it touches me in a very deep place, and I appreciate that.
Masterwork cores on the field.
Really
That's
good.
really funny.
It's really good, dude.
I
Because this so Felix Gambit in Gambit, this guy tells you what type of enemies are going to be on the field, and he flips his coin and then shows you.
He
He goes, all right. Let's
But first
see.
he starts with a Matthew McConaughey impression, which I
All
appreciate.
right, all right.
Who we fighting today? Falling on the field. That's right.
Falling on the
He
field.
flips it around, and this is a meme. It's like a fucking masterwork cores. The items in your inventory. What are we complaining about today? Masterwork cores.
I get it.
I
It's a good meme.
I said it in my response to you. Like, I think there are a lot of people who are complaining about the Masterworks because they're just like, oh, they're really expensive, and
And you need
I
them
don't
for
have too
everything,
many.
yeah.
Yeah, that I think is the only real. I don't even have an issue with it. I'm sitting on like 6 cores, by the way.
Yeah, me too.
But even I don't have a problem with it. I think players did not prepare for the fact that Masterwork cores went from, they had one specific purpose, but they came from the potential of all the weapons could drop with a Masterwork, and you just dismantle it and got a core in return.
Right. And all you would need is a masterwork
And
core.
you just needed a
It was
like
a-
some
it was a-
number of Masterwork.
It was a
It was like
1-to-1
10.
economy.
Yeah. And then they said, Masterwork cores, now you can get them in other areas, but they are like the centerpiece of the entire economy now.
So you want to infuse a gun, you want to upgrade the masterwork level on your gun, and what else am I missing? What else do they do? What are they important
you can
Those are two I-
Infusing power.
Yeah.
Upgrading your weapon.
Yep.
And that's it.
Right, and then you only get them by either breaking down a gun, breaking down a purple gun.
which does that it doesn't happen as much as it did before. Like you could be like what is it, tier 5 and above?
I actually got a core today from a level 4.
From a level
I made
4,
sure I
okay.
checked before I broke it down for
Yeah,
my
I've
own
only
kind of
seen
like
mine from tier
understanding.
5.
You can buy them from Spider,
Buy
Yes.
10 legendary
an
shards
exponential increase
will
of
get you
legendary
1
shards.
core,
and then
every
it goes
day,
up after that.
it resets, but it does the price does double. So it's 10 shards, then it's 20,
and then
then it's
the
40, then it's 80.
clan, the max clan banner comes with a master.
Clan rank 6 will get you a core
Yeah.
doing the weekly clan bounty.
Yeah.
So the way that I've been playing this game is I've not been infusing anything with the understanding that you're still climbing power. That's anything is aggressive. I've infused a couple things, but
I mean, the best way to infuse things are to get a gun of the same name, the same
and
type,
just spend the
and
glimmer.
do that. Determine which one you want to
because
keep.
that does not cost nearly as many
Right,
resources.
which
But-
is what I've been doing, and which is why I'm okay with the current system.
Yeah, I am as well. I've heard a lot of complaints from people that have admitted they've infused everything, and their argument is, well, I like this, I should be able to use it. And my counter argument is, you're playing a new expansion in what is now officially an MMO.
Yeah.
Fight me, it is.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And there is new gear and new ways to get that gear and new things that are going to evolve out of this, and you need to be flexible in terms of what you play with. Maybe at the end of the road you go back and say, you know what, I really love Garden Progeny. Scout rifles are going to get a 15% damage buff.
I'm gonna
pretty
bring
soon.
that back.
I'm gonna bring it back. You know, like that's fine, but like don't be doing that every time you get one bump in power because you're going to run out of everything. Not only Masterwork cores,
Yeah,
you're gonna run out of
legendary
everything,
shards. You're
every
gonna
single
run out
thing.
of it. The only thing that I'll bring up, because someone said it and I've been thinking about it, is they said you get Masterwork cores from dismantling weapons. The quote unquote problem now is you now have an economy that, or at least you have a system that it doesn't discourage but promotes keeping multiples of the same weapon because of the random rolls. So you are dismantling less.
My
now.
vault is very thick right now.
So
Yeah.
now you're weighing out, and this is what I like about it, is you have to weigh what you value more. At the current moment, I have the weapons I like.
Oh,
so
same.
I'm dismantling like crazy
Yep.
because I want currency. I want the Masterwork cords. I want
Yeah,
legendary
that sounds like an
shards.
MMORPG.
That's that.
I thought I'd chime
If
in there.
I was at a
You'd
point,
be very comfortable in this,
Yeah.
Felix.
if I was at a
I'm,
point,
I'm already doing that right now.
I know with ESO.
you could be on PC with Destiny 2.
We're,
but
we're,
that's
we're,
all.
we're working on
We're
it.
working on
We're
it.
working
Getting there
on
one
it.
step at a time.
if for some reason I went, you know what, I feel like there's something out there, some weapon that could be better than what I have, then I'm going to shift my focus to, well, let me take a look at my old guns that maybe now that with the scout rifle buff, let me go back and let me get my Nameless Midnight. Let me go back
Yep.
and let me get this.
Yep.
and do that. So now it's a weird dichotomy. You have to choose what you're doing. And so I think players instinctually, because historically this is what they've been able to do. I've been able to take my old guns and just carry them with me through the whole experience.
Yep.
If D1, if I wanted my Hawk Moon I just carried it through the whole thing if I really wanted it to.
Remember, Destiny 1, you didn't get the full power, though.
You didn't get the full power. You only
had
got
to
up to a
level 'em
certain
up.
extent.
Yeah.
You had to level them up in that sense.
I think what Forsaken does really well is it forces me to try other guns.
Yes.
Which is
Yes.
really key in like getting me to like rotate them in and out. And I'm always like I have like a main like my loadout A, which I'll call, like the main thing I like to roll with. But I'm always like, I got to try these new guns and see which ones I want to either get rid of or keep. Which is that gets you more currency. So it's like you're feeding. Yeah, you're like you said, you have to make a choice. Do you want to make?
What do I want to do?
Make more currency, or do I want to keep these guns? Like
so at this point, like I'm in the position where I have the guns I want. Period.
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna keep dumping things. And if the game feeds me a duplicate or it feeds me a higher power thing, I'm okay using that higher power thing. Or I will just dump it into whatever duplicate is there. The 60 million edge transits that I have no problem.
Oh yeah,
dumping
man.
them into one of them.
I got some high level edge transits feeding
So
those.
I don't know if it's flexibility more than it is. Players went in. The other thing I'll mention is now we have a difference of culture, because D2 was all about accessibility.
Yep.
Accessibility for players, accessibility to the system, accessibility for everything. Guided games comes from Bungie's obsession with making sure that everyone played together. And then finally they said, forget that. Forsaken is all about just do what you do, and whoever is the first 6 to beat the raid, we're changing the whole fucking game for you. Or we're redoing an entire area for you. So now it's less about accessibility, but you built this base on accessibility.
Yeah.
So, admittedly, there are 2 different dialogues that are happening, and this is the one to move forward, and you got a bunch of people caught in the middle.
That was
is what I think is the case.
Like last week, the discussion was: is the raid too hard?
Too hard.
Yeah.
Or is that 24-hour emblem thing like too exclusive for people to like get?
Side note:
You know?
nah, I ain't giving it to him. Fuck that
Yeah.
noise.
Oh,
I
I
knew
don't
that.
care about.
Dad,
I don't
knew
care
it.
about. I don't care about loading. I don't care. I don't care about any of
Yeah.
that. You ain't beat it. Tough tits.
That's-
I don't care how
that's
many
fair.
followers you got. I don't care if
100%
you were
fair.
at the summit.
Just
I don't care if you were
100% fair.
talking to people.
Diamond, before you came in, I was like, I know Diamond's not going to care about
I don't
that.
give a shit about that. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
I don't.
Yeah.
I
And
don't,
I'm not even playing.
care who you are.
Yeah. No, you're right about the expectation setting. Don't forget, there are a ton of people that probably thought vanilla D2
Yeah.
was incredible.
Was hot shit.
And it was the most perfect form of the game. And look, they're not wrong, they're not right. But Bungie has to pick a side on what they develop the game for, and they got to make choices and decisions. And I think the vast majority of feedback was asking to make this game an investment, a hobby, a growth.
They said it. They said it in all of those videos. They said, we're
Yeah.
trying to bring the hobby back.
Yep.
The hobby means, like us, you play this shit almost every night. That's a hobby.
Yep.
I mean, it could be an obsession as
the-
well, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Right. Like that being said, I'm not against them adding a way to get cores. I just don't want them to cheapen how valuable everything feels, because that's the side effect of this, is that shit feels really valuable.
Your decisions will be like, oh, I got to give a gun up.
More so than ever, it's you and your story. Like what you have equipped, what you have chosen to bring up to power if it's not a new drop, that's you. That's your guardian. That's your story. So I think it's a great decision in general. I'm not against adding like a weekly source, maybe like dump 5 or 10 cores into a bounty that you get.
Bounty would be fine. Yeah.
Because the problem right now is there's no emergency answer besides Spider.
Correct.
But what if you've already you've spent Spider up to something where it's not feasible to buy, right? You know how you're infusing shit. Before we went into the raid, I was like, wait, I got to bring these legs up because I want to run this build, and this has to be my highest power,
Right.
so that I can do damage.
Well, here's my thing.
And I can just go to a planet and get
I
mats
think
if I need to.
the
You
economy
can't-
works because of the new weapons and armor system.
Yeah.
That's the only way this works
Yeah.
because you're sifting through all these gears and weapons, and you're picking which ones you want the best, which ones to get rid of, which ones to keep.
But there's no emergency like, oh shit, I can go here to get 1 core because I need 1 core.
Outside of the value of the currency, is there a reason why the cost of a masterwork core for Spider is not a rotating currency? If you're trying to create a hobby, and all of a sudden you come in one because
Instead
it
of
rotates
making it-
daily.
Yeah.
So what if you showed up one day and it was
cost like your
data latest, right? Well, I'm gonna farm
Yeah.
this one planet all day long to get
Yeah.
these masterwork cores.
Not a bad idea.
Like I'm trying to think.
Because I already rotate the stuff in his currency to build up what I have. Take what I have like a surplus of.
So do I
and-
go crazy
yeah.
with masterwork cores because those materials are still part of the infusion process?
I think that's not a bad idea.
Like, it's already something you're doing.
There was
I
one-
just don't understand the whole, like, I get the exponential increase of legendary shards.
Yeah.
But it seems odd to me.
Yeah, you'll still have enough to buy from Xur. So like,
Yeah.
it's like whatever.
There was one
Yeah.
day he was selling legendary shards for Etheric Spiral, and I had been picking that shit up.
Yeah, I had
every
like
time
600 Etheric
I
Spiral.
passed it with all 3 characters on the Tangled Shore, so I just bought myself like 200 shards. I was just like, I'm gonna get a bunch of legendary shards, and I'm gonna buy myself 4 masterwork cores, and I'm gonna recycle this shit.
By the way, Bungie, let me do the fucking math. Why am I buying 1 legendary shard at a time?
Oh,
material.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Is there a reason?
I
Can
don't
I
know.
not just go? I have 600 of this. Let me just put. I have 600.
No, man.
Give
This
me
is
No.
this is going back to like
I
the
just-
cosmetic,
and-
Press and
the
hold,
shaders,
press and hold,
the
press and
shader
hold.
issue.
But the shader, I'm fine because once you hit a certain point, it just goes okay. If you want to get rid of this, we're just going to get rid of them all. Like I think it's like 10 or 15. Once you get to
You
that
can do
point,
5 at
Stacks
a
of
time.
5, yeah.
stacks
from,
of 5. But
from
then once you
Rahul.
get to the last 5 or 10, it just deletes them all. Whatever's left, like that, I'm fine with. But like buying stuff. Let me just sit
good
here
point.
and just
Hold the key.
hold my key down
Yeah.
over and over and over again to buy 1 shard.
Mm-hmm.
What a stream that is.
That's spicy content.
That's. Let me clip
like-
this for everybody.
It's like me sitting in my craft bag in ESO.
yeah, but
You
you know
got
what?
it.
I subbed to that shit because that is.
Epic.
The
There's
craft
nothing
bag.
like playing ESO with Felix looking over at his character and his character's just doing this to air because it doesn't chill the bag. He's just fiddling around in a bag of air.
I don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah,
You haven't played with me since I got the membership.
I haven't. I've also been on a PC.
You got time to talk about that raid?
If you want to, yeah. I mean,
We did the first encounter.
we did the first encounter of the raid.
three of us sitting
us,
here.
Neo,
Locke.
Diamond, and myself,
Felix.
and
No,
Locke.
No.
Felix was there in spirit in the good old days.
I
yelled your name as we won.
Nah,
I-
you guys were in there, and I was gonna drop into the chat.
You
and
should
start
have.
talking.
Should have.
Wow.
I was like
Okay.
busy. I was busy.
Yeah.
I
Shoulda, coulda,
think I was
woulda.
making my dinner.
Yeah, you should have.
I didn't.
But it was an incredible experience.
We were in there for how long? Like 2 hours? 3
No,
hours?
it was
like
almost
3
4
hours.
hours.
4 hours?
It was
really?
almost 4 hours.
Because we started late, and we
Yep.
should make the.
It was 3.
We went-
It was like 3. Like around 9 we got in. And it was a little after 12 we finished. It was like 3.
Are you sure it was 9? I thought it was like 8:30.
No, that would have been early. We kept sitting in orbit for a long ass time while people ran to do a quick strike.
Yeah, 9 to. Oh
Quick
no, I think you're right. Yeah,
Let's do the
nine-
ascendant.
nine
quick
to
ascendant challenge. Just-
9 to 12:30 is
Yeah.
I think it was. So
Yeah.
3.5 hours.
Yeah.
So
So quick iron banner match. Get that powerful gear.
I'm glad we did it. I'm glad we completed it. Because most of us were underpowered.
Yeah, more
Yeah.
than half the team was
under level.
way under.
Trip carrying the flag there for
Yeah,
us.
I was 558, I think, when we were going through there.
I was 10 levels below you.
Yeah, I was like 33,
And being
537.
548 was where a lot of the biggest people that went in over the first weekend. They were
Yeah,
they
that's
were
where they were.
They were around the high 40s, low 50s, with a few
Oh.
outliers. But that's the difference, right? Like if you're above 541, if you're above 540, actually if you're above 546.
You're fine.
You're still going to have a fucking brutal ass time, but the drops should carry you and make you able to essentially compete, right? When they were at Riven, which is the final encounter, they were in the low 460s, and that encounter's a 560s. The encounter's 580. So you're still like 20 levels below, which hurts, but you're able to
Good
hang
thing we
in
know
there.
it's still doable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
For us it is because now you and I are both
50.
551,
Yep.
and
Locke will be there.
you'll be there, and Locke will be.
I hit 61 today.
It's
and then a whole another week of drops.
You are
I
our
cannot-
flag bearer, man.
I cannot catch up to this man. I played like every day this week, and I'm always like 9 light.
I got some bad drops today too.
If I had Tuesday and Wednesday, I keep saying this, if I had Tuesday and Wednesday to play, I would have been there. I would have been good.
But I wouldn't worry because the raids, especially with us and the way our lives work, are usually weekend-ish events, at least, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna have a whole new week of powerful drops and other daily shit in prime engrams. So you're gonna be able to really beef up your character before we go in again.
Oh, I know. Next time, I'm going to be very ready.
But it felt so good to finish that.
So can
and
we
to
answer
learn
this? Can we answer this question now?
What's the question?
So the question you guys asked last week is the raid too hard?
Yeah.
Is it not accessible? Well, no, it's not accessible to every player, just on the sheer basis of
No,
what it does.
and that's great.
And yes,
Mm-hmm.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good that it was accessible to us. Kinda.
Yeah.
When I say accessible, like we were in there and able to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why didn't we play it the first weekend? Were we busy? Did we?
I
Could we
know
just
I
not
wasn't
get?
available.
Not
that night.
really. I
Can
mean,
we
like,
not get a group?
I wanted to get in there the first weekend.
Yeah.
I know there were some scheduling issues with getting a full 6 in there,
I must have been like 520 something.
but also like being like crazy low level was probably not preferable. And I
You
know
might
like
have been the only
especially
one.
after watching it because I was going to go in blind, but then
Yeah.
of course they're like you can get a jacket if you do it week 1. I'm like fuck, I have to get
yeah,
the
that's-
jacket.
So that was the thing. I think there were a bunch of us sitting there that night, like, "Hey, are we going to do it?" And we just didn't have enough people.
And like you watch them,
we would have started at like 10 o'clock.
you watch these guys that are like 5:40, and I'm like 5:31 at this point, and I'm like fuck, like
I was thinking of you when I,
was like,
named.
I thought I could do this, and like maybe I can't.
I was thinking of you when I named last week's episode.
I know. That episode name
About the
hurt.
jacket.
It hurt. But I think that also slowed us down. We're like, oh shit, well we're not ready at all. Like if these guys spent 18 hours, which was essentially them fighting against the negative delta, that's what the 18 hours were because mechanics were figured out. And besides like the lock room, the safe room, it was all learning how to survive the ads and take them down, as well as do the encounter, just because of negative power delta. That's what really drug out the whole thing. Because even then, people took a day off, 2 days off, and came back and beat it before Tuesday. The people that were already like possibly going to complete it or had that power, they had some extra time to come back and get some power levels and come back in and grind it out with their squad until it was done. But we weren't even in that tier. We were like 10 or so levels below, and that truly makes a difference. Like once you're 50 below an encounter, you're doing 0 damage. Like you get the question marks, and you can't do anything.
There's no
in
need
there.
to even be in there.
Yeah. So if the first encounter is billed as 560, if a bunch of us are still in the 510s, there's no point.
One thing I will say, this raid does something that, in my opinion, no other raid has done, which is cause you to rethink about how you tackle basic ads.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
went in, they were like, "Oh, it's Thrall."
Great.
And I said, "I'm going in with an auto rifle, and I'm just mowing down." And it was a terrible decision to do that.
Yeah.
And so then I sat back and I started experimenting with my high-level weapons to figure out what can I do to just tackle basic.
They were teleporting like
shit.
crazy.
They were teleporting. They were super
Yeah.
aggressive. Ace of Spades.
Nice.
Ace of Spades.
Ace of Spades.
I used my EP shotty.
I actually was using an auto rifle, but like it was very spray and
It
play.
was
I was
super
all
hard
over the place.
And I was
dude.
like, you know what? I need something that can hit hard and wipe out a bunch of people at once. Ace of Spades.
You need one
and
shot.
Then it was cake.
Yep.
Yep.
Then it was cake.
What does that gun do again?
Ace of Spades is
Cade's gun.
It's Cade's gun. It's a hand cannon.
Yeah.
That when
I
you
got
get
it
when
I
you
was playing.
Well, they changed it.
Sorry, I
It
keep
was
forgetting
it was
it's on
it was a Taken King exotic, the Ace of Spades.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't think
yeah,
it
that's
worked
right,
in quite the same way.
I
but
don't think it did either. In this instance, it has when you get a headshot, it does a elemental explosive kind of outburst, and then if you reload after a kill, it gives you Memento Mori, which is a perk that takes 6 shots out of the revolver and makes them incredibly powerful and can
Oh.
over penetrate.
Cool.
So you're killing, reloading.
So yeah, it seems like a Crucible perk, but for the raid, it was working really well because the explosive payload, I would get a headshot on a Thrall and it would kill like 3 other Thrall in the area, so I
that's
wouldn't have
great.
to worry as much for things.
And I picked shotgun because shotgun.
But like
you
got
had to
shotgun
stop them when
all
they
day.
come up to you.
Yeah. I needed stopping power.
Yep.
The clip that I clipped, I realized really early on that, admittedly, for all of you who are going to hate my guts, I play on controller when I play PvE, just because I like to sit comfortably.
Do your
and
thing,
it.
dude.
If
100%.
I'm sitting and I'm like in the zone, I'll play keyboard and mouse. But typically, if I'm like just playing, I'll play controller. But so I was realizing, I was like, you know what? I don't really want to use Whisper in this because I'm just not hitting the crit shots I need to for it based on the way the gun works.
So you went with the Edge Transit
So,
naturally.
so I started with Two-Tailed Fox, and I was like, I don't feel like I'm contributing. So the clip that I clipped when we finally beat the boss, I have a Fate Cries Foul, the second slot sniper rifle. With I think it's like Head Seeker and something else. And I was using Ace of Spades, and I'm just tagging the boss, and I felt fucking hopeless.
Right.
And we jump in the doors, and I switched my second, my shotgun, because I wasn't going to shotgun anymore, and I switched to that sniper rifle. And that's what I used on the final boss. So I was like, oh man, I could sit in this room for like 5 seconds and like switch to something else and feel like I could do so. Like, it's been a long time since a raid has made me rethink not just about my weapons going in, but wanting to change them later.
I think fighting against that power also helps you decide that. If you were just able to mow them down with an auto rifle, you wouldn't have ever switched to anything else.
The Ace of Spades is definitely like a mob clearing gun. Just like
so
my set, when I thought about my set, I was thinking about, okay, I need an auto damage, I need a boss damage gun, and I need a mob clearing gun. So I had my shotgun and my auto rifle.
Yeah.
And then my auto rifle was my damage dealer, and then super slot was my X factor, where I could do some big numbers. I think
like
I
was thinking
using
about builds in a raid.
Yeah.
Typically in past raids, I was thinking back to Wrath of the Machine.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I got my Outbreak Prime. I'm
Right,
not using
I'm good.
anything else in this game.
Right, I'm good.
That's the end of it. I was thinking back to King's Fall. What is the exotic you got after King's Fall? The one that you get down to one bullet and it just keeps firing.
Oh,
This is gonna kill me.
the scout rifle.
Yeah. So there was a scout rifle. It's a full auto scout rifle. You fire, and then you get to one bullet. Once you get to one bullet, the damage increases. It takes your health away, but it just
You
keeps
keep
firing on one
and
bullet.
every bullet takes a chunk of your health.
until you hit the reload button. Is that
until
it?
you either die or you stop firing, and then it'll reload.
There were mechanics of
That's
the
crazy.
final encounter where you were in pools of invincibility. So that gun became a really good
Yeah,
choice
so
because once it started hitting your health, it
It's getting stronger, and you're
yeah,
not dying.
and you're not dying. So people would drop like bubbles. They would anything to heal people.
See, that's the kind of shit I
They would
like.
do it.
I like that kind of weird ass shit.
I love that. King's Fall was a
King's
dope
Fall was
raid,
great,
dude.
but once I got that gun, I knew the gun I was going to use in King's Fall because it mattered, it was relevant, and I could use anything else. But this was the first one that, like, middle of the raid, I was like, I need to change to something. I need to change to something in the middle of damage phase, just because there's got to be something better.
me and Locke experimented with Sleeper versus Whisper. And
Yeah.
that's even
Touch
like,
of Malice.
Touch of Malice, thank
you.
you.
God, that would have killed me all
Oh,
night. Yeah.
man.
Touch of Malice.
As a Destiny fan, that sucks.
yeah, I was definitely using Sleeper for the last. I didn't trust my Whisper.
That's
That's
where
my
I was
problem,
at.
yeah.
But I hadn't leveled up my Sleeper, partially because a Masterwork broke. But I hadn't leveled up my Sleeper, so I was like, what am I going to use in this scenario? Because I'm just not getting the crit hits that I need for this to matter, for it to work. So
It was a very fun,
Very fun first
overcoming
room.
the challenge.
Very fun first room.
I like the feeling of running into a raid all fresh and like never seeing an encounter before and finishing
Yes.
it. Yeah, I know once we go back in there, we're gonna just start
Oh,
crushing.
I think
Steamroll
we're
it.
just going to crush it.
Yeah, I think
like,
we're just
when
gonna
we go
crush it,
in,
yeah.
we're going to like first or second try it.
Yep.
Very
And
excited.
that'll be it. And I'm excited for that second room. It's been a while since I've been excited for rooms.
Right, exactly.
Right, not just like the. Like,
I'm excited for how far we're going to get this week. Is a cool place to be.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, hey,
We're all
we finished
going
the
in
first
on
one, the
even
second-
stronger.
even
Yeah.
stronger than
Yeah.
we were before.
I think
going into the second
I
room.
think we could
You think we
finish
can
it.
hit room 3?
I think we could finish it.
You think we can finish it?
If everyone gets, you don't think get real lucky. Everyone gets decently lucky
Yeah.
and gets into the 50s.
Hmm?
If you get above 555, if you get into the 60s, forget it. We got it, golden. But if you get into the 50s,
our chances go up
preferably above
infinitely. Yeah,
get
Infinitely.
556 or more, I feel like with drops along the way, you can easily go
because
up.
Caliber
that
too.
first
Yeah,
first encounter, Trip was putting out massive amounts of damage.
yeah,
more
you,
so than
you
all
were
of
hitting
us.
like 4 million.
4 million.
Yeah,
in
so
sleeper damage.
if we're all doing Trip damage
Yeah,
at that
that shit's
point,
big.
Then
we go through in 2 rotations or less.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Of the encounter because that encounter is just a dance. It's just
It is, yeah.
you're just doing the moves and you're surviving.
But we could clear
Yeah.
the entire raid as long as we
as long as we stay up
are
to power, if
dedicated
we get
to
the
it
right
and we
levels.
get the right power level before. Yeah.
Um,
This could be the week.
Can I ask you guys one question?
Sure.
I'm assuming a lot of us have not been lucky with the year 2 exotics.
No, I've only got one.
Yeah, Trinity
Ghoul.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
I don't have any.
What you got?
You don't have any,
your
no.
twin-tailed
No,
fox
and
over
I
here.
even I like to. I'll buy Zers like one exotic.
Christ. Yeah, it's always going to be year
And
one.
I got a Testio.
Telesto.
Telesto.
Thanks. I'm gonna get that wrong.
I got
for a
my
while.
Tesla.
I got my Testy.
Testes. It does fire testes.
And that's a year
It's
one.
on
It's a year
surfaces.
one gun. You
Yeah,
know,
it's a-
and
that Engram's
It's a
always
Destiny
gonna give
one
year
gun.
to me. Oh my god,
a year-
that's true. You got a D1 gun.
Taken King. That was a Taken King exotic.
What is the year 2 gun you're hoping drops next for you?
I'm hoping for a good bow. What's that? That triple shot bow?
Trinity
Cool.
Ghoul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want two-tailed fox. We have each other's guns if we want.
What's the two-tail fox?
Two-tail fox is the rocket launcher that fires 2 rockets.
Oh, that's sexy.
They
It's,
both home in.
Do they helix? Do they like?
Yeah, so they're
cool.
they're tracking rockets. One is void, one is solar.
Nice.
If it hits, it suppresses the enemy, and then the solar damages them over time. It's really good. I love it in PvP. You know what mine is? Malfeasant, the hand cannon.
They think that's going to be a quest gun.
I hope so, because what is it? Fire 5 shots, and it immediately does some type of chain arc
the
explosive.
5th shot is like a huge chain explosion.
And I
gun,
was
yeah.
like, yes.
People found a grave. People found it at someone's tomb that they think is
Where?
tied to this.
Oh, I saw that today.
Entangled Shore?
Yeah, in a very crazy, weird jumping puzzle. I think from in the new Strike, the Corrupted. People did some crazy
right.
jumping acrobatics and found the grave of someone who was killed by the Golden Gun lore. He was destroyed by Golden Gun. His body imprint is still on this grave from the Golden Gun explosion. Ooh. Hold on, I will find a picture for you.
Ooh.
There's probably more for after the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
They found
lore
Callum's grave, the key to the Malfeasance quest, which they are assuming. That's his.
Let's
That's
go.
his body burned.
I want it, and I want it badly.
the rock right there.
That's
That's pretty cool.
Ooh, I'm so excited for this. Let's go.
But I think that's a good place to end because we're just gonna spiral out of control if we keep
are.
going. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you, Diamond Jab, for coming.
Thank you.
through
Thank you,
to the
Diamond
show.
Jab. Yeah.
It was great having you here again.
Yeah,
and
thanks,
chatting,
bud.
Man.
Appreciate you being
it's
here.
always a great time. As for myself, my name is Trip Zero. You can find me on all of my socials. It's /Trip0TV. Very easy to find. I stream Tuesdays through Saturdays, 11 to 8. Mondays, I'm still playing around with being a day off. I think I might take tomorrow to do some editing work, do some stream work, all that fun stuff. But yeah, full-time streamer, do the podcast as well, so find me there. Twitter's probably the best place outside of Mixer to follow me because I'm pretty active and I always tweet out what I'm doing and talk about games and stuff. So please hit me up. Let's chat. Who wants to go next?
This is Felix Hergood. You can catch me on Mixer and Twitch. Felix Hergood on both. Felix Hergood on Twitter. I rotate through all the other games that those guys aren't playing. I play.
Don't stream them.
I'm rotating right now through Assassin's Creed Origins and Ghost Recon Wildlands, Far Cry 5, and Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. And with
Felix Hergood,
with
sponsored
plans
by
to do a
Ubisoft.
2-day stream
Yeah,
for
right.
with plans to do a 2-day stream for Red Dead 2 when it comes out.
2-day stream?
I honestly think I may be picking up Red Dead.
Cool.
As much as because I know Locke's on the train of
I'm on the wait for PC train.
on
as
the
well.
wait
Yeah.
for
On the
PC
way for
train.
PC.
Yeah, but you're gonna get it on the PS4. We're not gonna play.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it on PS4. I don't have an Xbox.
I'm not
Why are you getting an Xbox?
That's where his
Because
squad
a
is.
ton
dude.
of people are playing it.
Oh, all right, yeah, do that. Just do that.
Yeah.
Because I'm probably gonna get in and get out of that game.
Are you getting it, Diamond?
PC.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
no, I'm
just-
gonna
But,
wait.
like-
I'm not.
But like,
interested in
are they
waiting.
though? We don't know.
Are they what?
Are they gonna
Are
do
they
it on
competing?
PC?
Come on.
Are they
Yeah,
gonna
come
do it
on.
on PC? Okay.
Come on. Come on.
All right.
Is that how many people stop?
You're
playing
definitely
PC
waiting a
online?
year for that shit.
Yeah,
I got a lot to do. in
I'm
a year.
perfectly fine waiting for a story game
Oh,
a year.
I just feel so weird to me. Okay. All right, I'll think about it.
Just watch my stream. It'll be fun.
Nah.
He's like, I don't want to be spoiled.
It's
Yeah.
a prequel to the original Red Dead. I'm okay.
Cool. Neo Ayoshi. You can find me at twitch.tv/Neo Ayoshi. Twitter, Neo_Yoshi. I stream whenever I can, whatever I can. Probably a lot of Destiny, maybe some PUBG. I haven't played PUBG in a while. Probably not gonna.
You sound so excited about
That
it.
shit is.
Maybe some PUBG, maybe
See,
not.
my
I don't
He
know.
hasn't put it in the grave yet.
My PUBG
Yeah.
squad's like, yo, get the new COD so we can do this PUBG. And I'm
the
like,
moment your squad recommends another game, it's game over.
Yeah.
That shit-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might as well just let it go.
Yeah. Then everyone goes, "Ooh, I'm not gonna
Ooh, man.
hit them with the come over to Destiny 2."
I posted the link to that Reddit thread that was like the hardest challenge in Destiny
Yeah.
2 is convincing your friends that Destiny 2 is worth
Yeah.
playing right now. Yeah.
This is probably the most amount of people I've had available to play with
Yeah.
in
Ever.
Destiny ever.
That
Yeah.
BattleNet.
Isn't that
list is
crazy?
like 20 deep,
Yeah.
by the way.
It's crazy having like all these boys at our disposal that we can
Yeah.
just call in.
People.
It's awesome. Oh, when I say boys,
Whoa.
I do it with the eye. I
No.
do it with the eye.
No.
Boys.
Boys.
Yeah, he's talking about his
Ball boys.
Sharks versus
Yeah.
the
The
Jets.
the ball boys,
The ball boys.
which is
Boys that just come in at your disposal.
His
to
West
do
Side
whatever
Story
you want.
cast. Did you
Yes.
hear what I said?
Disposable
Wonderful.
boys.
no the ball boys are a friendly clan that we team up with.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Just so you
This
know.
is great.
Anyway, Diamond, where can we
Disposable
find
ball
you?
boys.
Disposable boys.
Ball boys.
Where can we find you?
Okay, sorry. I
It
looked
only
that
gets
up.
worse.
Pretty
We
much.
love, we love the ball boys. I'm sorry, dude.
No. You're. God damn it. You can find me pretty much everywhere at Diamond Jab, twitter.com, twitch.tv, mixer.com/Diamond Jab. Stream schedule Friday to Monday, 7 p.m. Onward. I'm also the creative director for Sanctuary One Radio, which is available on iTunes and Spotify and,
Yep.
and Apple Podcasts and all that jazz. So, so you can listen to them and figure out what they're doing. But yeah, Friday through Monday, 7 p.m. is where you can catch me on Twitch and Mixer. I'm following the Felix mode of things.
Nice, dude.
But yeah, I've been on a Destiny kick heavily. But then I'm currently also streaming Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
I don't quite know. I'm still on the fence about Fallout 76.
You gonna play that beta?
I'm thinking about it.
When does that come?
A month
It's
before.
November.
Month
Yeah.
before.
It's the day before Pokemon comes out, and
Which is a pass for me. Are you
Wait,
getting
they-
it?
they-
Damn right, I'm getting it.
They've set a
Pokemon
date.
game. I'm taking that.
Wait, what's
But
the,
it's-
what's the
is
day
it-
before?
Oh yeah.
No. What's the day before? The beta release or
No,
the game
the
release?
game itself is
The game
is the day
itself.
before Pokemon.
Yeah, and
which
you're
I
a
will get.
Pokemon fan.
And I will enjoy it. The thing I'll say, I was really excited for Fallout 76, and then slowly but surely, every single one of my friends were like, I don't think I'm getting it.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm getting it. And then the next, I don't think I'm getting it. So now, like, even though I was excited for it,
I'm still
Fallout
getting it.
76 is a game meant to be played with people.
I'm still
Yeah.
getting it.
So there's a chance I'm not going to get it.
I'm still getting it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
I'll just
looking
watch a
forward
stream
to
for
it. Yeah.
But yeah, twitch.tv /Diamond Jab, mixer.com/Diamond Jab, all that jazz.
Awesome.
Cool.
See you next week.
Later, guys.
See you.
Laters.
All right. Posted. How was the plosive right there when I yelled into the microphone?
Plosives are good. Plosives are great.
Plosives are fine.
Plosives. Plosives.
Plosives.
Where did that word come from? From people saying that word?
Plosives.
They thought that was
Forgot
the
to look
best and the most efficient
Plosive.
way to like monitor plosives was to come up with a nonsense word called plosive.
Well, it sounds like what it's like. It's probably from the same root word as explosive.
Right.
Whatever that root word is, the plode word, explode, implode. Like
Maybe the X didn't.
they both involve different ways of ploding. Right.
I officially have nothing to add to this conversation.
Yeah, I have no idea what's happening here.
There's nothing of value I want to add to this.
Just a bunch of nerds just talking audio files.